It says we're live. Not 100% sure, but this is Let's Talk About Funko. I'm Reggie,
I'm Mario.
and we're finally back. This is first time going live on YouTube Live. Thank you to Comic Jabroni Edwin for teaching me how to go on a StreamYard, getting this on. I can see myself on the screen over here. Finally, it's a little bit delayed, but I'll try to take care of this and answer some questions too as well. But further ado, let's invite our guest over, and that's going to be Mr. Rios Palante.
Yo.
Hello. Thank you so much. Get some overlays back on here. So I was like, we had a little quick chat just to get to know each other real quick. But yeah, we really didn't even talk about that. We only talked about how we met. This show's been on for not that long. We started last year doing this studio-wise, so we met a lot of great people. But we're happy to have you in here. It's like I told who's it? Like basically like people like Bird Brain and what's Gorilla. Playful Gorilla. It's like, they help us get in that door, and to talk to other artists just like yourself. We met you, or actually I met you 2 years ago, and 5 Points.
I remember you as I felt the Funko popping out of you. You know what I'm saying? I was like,
yeah, I was probably real big on that, really Funko about that time, because I know you were right there in the beginning, and I love that Brooklyn area right there, because we went to Brooklyn Con last year and it was pretty good.
Yeah, it was good. Shout out to
JD right there, Unstoppable Comics. I was like one of his characters, but he did that himself, and I was like, I'm missing that whole feel, that whole vibe, especially with 5 Points, where we have all these artists from everywhere. And it was amazing to meet you. It's amazing to meet all these other people from not even from New York. It was like amazing. But we're here to talk about basically you. So I did meet you, like I said, 2 years ago. I got like a sticker pack. I think I also got the pin. I couldn't even find it. I was going crazy because he's a big size. Yeah. And I was looking at what you did to it, where he's like, just the 99-cent store and put him in that. Yeah. And I was like, yo, that's a good idea, but I don't want to take the pins off. I might have to try to put them on my bag or something like that. So
yeah, man, they actually fit in these fig pin joints too. I mean, if you're a little more rich, they fit in these things too.
Yeah,
I think these are like $8 or something. I saw somebody do it online, and I said, let me try it. Let me give it a shot. And it worked. They fit pretty good. So
that's good. That's good. Something good to know right there. At least I don't have that one. I have the other one of your original character.
The Bodega Blade. Right?
Bodega Blade. I have that one there.
Yeah, he's sold out. He's become very popular. But I remember seeing you guys in Brooklyn at 5 Points, and I'm telling you, 5 Points has been hurting us all, man.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah, every time I try to carry stuff around here.
Man, that's what's up.
Yeah.
And it's been hurting us all, man. You like to jump into conventions and see what's going on. See, you get that nice vibe. You see stuff like little treasures that you don't see anywhere else. And that's been killing me, man. Even going into comic book shops, I'm a big comic book guy. Not an avid reader, but I'm a big comic book guy. My Batman is my dude. He's been my dude for 20, 30 years, man, and he's just the best. But the convention hopping has hurt. I miss that social interaction. I'm saying? That's why we're here, right?
Definitely. I was like, it's the best thing about this. I think people are grinding harder without that too. That's another thing. I see you always on. I see people like Red Guardian always doing live stuff and showing him. I seen you do some drawings too, and like every time I see a drawing, it's like sold out. I was like, damn it! That
was a thing I was doing for about 9-10 weeks consecutively. It was we were doing it for a good cause to help first responders, and I was doing
that's true.
Yeah, I was doing an original ink drawing. But the thing is that what happened, it started creeping into, because I do this for a living, so I do it a 9 to 5. But it's really not 9 to 5. I work with people from Hong Kong and China. So
oh my God! So
it's like, I get the emails coming in. So when I send out something, I get the response as I'm going to sleep. So I'm pretty much on 24 hours a day, man. I got the freaking bags to prove it, and I can't wait to go to sleep. So what's been happening is that the drawing started falling off, and it started like getting in the way of production. So now if you see, I'm like beginning to hit the production scene hard again. Doing the Sensei. I'm doing this new version of Screwface, and I'm still working on that Quicks collab.
Yes. There's another guy we met we met him, I think, at that 5 points in other, him and 7 Sketches. That was a Hawaiian dude as well. Man, cool. They did a little collabo. I was like, it's great, these people.
They all humble, and we talk to them, it's a good vibe. Once we go to 5 points, or even when we go anywhere, it's a good vibe to be able to talk to the artists and be able to, pick their brain, culture about, what do they like what do they want to do in the future. And everybody so far has been humble. Also, what was her name?
For what?
Glitch Bitch.
Glitch Bitch. Yeah, she's awesome. She's like a DJ, and she does so much other stuff. We interviewed her at Brooklyn Con, I believe, and my girl, one of her artworks, it just spoke to her. So she has it on her wall, and like my girlfriend, like I said, she's a minimalist, but now she's taking some of my pops and stuff like that. I told you about that. It's like,
you're right, man. Shout out to Quicks. He's beautiful people. He's been very, like you said, he's always been humble. He's like one of the top guys in the game right now, and he's still super humble. Takes his time out to meet not only his fans, but to just meet anybody and say what's up. Yeah. 762, man. I love that little homie, and
he's talented. I was like, wow.
And he's a grinder. He works. He's a workhorse. And so is Quicks. And you could start seeing the separation between the good, the really good. And I don't mean really good as in how well they draw. I mean, how much effort they put in the grinding and the day-to-day, you can start to separate them and weed out who's the weaker ones, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
For lack of a better word. But I was super happy I met him about 2 years ago. He signed, and it's funny, I came in as a fan first. And a lot of the 5 points people do that. They walk in there and they have those experiences that you're talking about where they say, man, I just met the artist and this guy broke it down to me and everything. And all of a sudden, I want to do that, So that's what happened to me. I was working in Toys R Us for a while, and Toys R Us went under. And I was like, all right, what am I going to do now? I don't want to go into the office space anymore. So I just started developing these characters and said, I'm gonna go ahead. And 5 points was a big push for that, because I was like, if they can do it, I can do it. Because I know what I'm talking about when it comes to toys. I've been doing it for years, so why not do it independently? So I've been doing that and grinding and working hard, and it's beginning to take. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So how long ago have you been going to 5 points?
I'd say maybe my first one was in Chelsea Piers. It might be 2017.
Wow, yeah. Piers is like, they had one, and it was like it was ours is what,
2016?
Yeah, I think it might have been around that time.
Yeah,
it was the Piers. It was, and I was like, what's it doing here? I was like, I thought it was supposed to be Brooklyn or whatever, and it was
I hopped on that shit accidentally. I was walking down the neighborhood, and I was with my son, and we do this thing called Sunday. With
awesome.
On Sundays, so I hang out with him on Sundays, and it's all about him. And Saturdays is Sad Daughter Day, so. So I try to break it up because they fight, bro. Forget it. They. That's
why I said, we got to get this guy early because. And I'll tell you, it's like, it's Friday. I understand you're, family man, and I don't want to get into that time. That's personal time. No one wants to get that way, especially we all have family, and with this COVID is making us realize life is short. So
Yeah, I've tried. I fought the good fight, and I try to juggle it and do the like we were talking about before with the ink drawings, and I tried to do it for the fans, but of course,
family first.
Families first, and it'll just give me more time to develop product at the end. You know what I'm saying? It'll level out so that everyone can get a piece rather than do a raffle. So I had to go back and say what's more important. Is it me, focusing on the production pieces, or is it me doing these raffles and these one-offs? And it is production and working on the comic book and working on so many things I've got in the works. So that's where it is at now.
I know you got some questions to ask him, because before I jump in and ask him these questions, it might be the same ones you have.
Let's go.
I just want to know about the story of your first mural and inside the closet. If you can tell us more about that.
That's the beginning. That's that's the chapter 1 of my story. So I was about 3 or 4. I was super, super young, and I lived in Boynton. At the time, I lived on Boynton Avenue, I believe, up the block from White Plains Road. If you're from the Bronx, you know what I'm talking about. I lived up the block. There was a skaky. Anyway, I'm getting into logistics, but anyway, what I mean is, I was very young, and I used to take take my mother's pens and go behind her closet, her coat closet, and I would draw these like Batman and Superman and and the Hulk, and they weren't good, but it was good for my age. It was like there was something there. So one day, my mother doesn't know that these drawings are laying behind her coats. She opens up the coats, and she's out to pick a coat, and she sees all these little drawings on the wall. She goes, "Yo, what's wrong with you?" She starts riffing. She's upset. She's really, really irate, and my brother comes in and he goes, "Wait, Ma, chill. Before you give him a whooping, just check it out. Look, he could actually do it." So you could make out like Batman's little ears, and you can make out Spider-Man's webbing on his face, and he was like, instead of whipping his ass, just like, let's build on this, So luckily for him, and my brother's an OG. I love him. Shout out to my brother Opie. But yes, he saved my life that day. Luckily he did, because she began to like nurture it. So,
wow.
Yeah, she would sit down and draw with me, and she drew her best Spider-Man that she could. And she drew like Batman, and she drew these women with cigarettes all the time. I don't know why. And I would just follow.
That's probably a Spanish thing. Who knows?
Yeah. She always, like, her interpretation of sexy was different. It was a woman with a cigarette and this halter top kind of thing. And so she would be like, "Yeah, try to follow that. Do what I do," And but the natural talent was, I think it was biological, because my father used to paint stained glass churches, and he was locked up for a while too. And when he was locked up, he produced a bunch of artwork. Sadly, he came home and he was murdered when I was 1, so I didn't really have him. He wasn't there. He couldn't be there for me. But at the same time, it was crazy, because he left a gift behind. It was like he almost like, "Here, boom, here's your gift. Now I'm out." And that's how it's been. So I've always had this chip on my shoulder, like I've got to do something with this. If I don't do something with it, it's just wasted talent. It's like Bronx Tale thing. There's nothing in the world worse than wasted talent.
Yeah,
it's true. I mean, God gives you something to do, and if you realize it ahead of time, you got to work on it. And sometimes nothing else matters but me creating. So. Yes, in a long story made longer. That's how it all started. And then from there, my mother would go to these parent teacher conferences in like kindergarten, and they would put up my artwork and say, "Oh my God, look, this guy's phenomenal, and you've got to and keep doing this thing." And so it's always been there, And then I went to college when I got older, and learn the professional side of things.
Oh, you went to Fashion Institute, right?
Yeah, I went to FIT. I went to Morris High School, which
Dope.
Morris High School in the '90s, early '90s. It was fucking tough. I graduated. First, I went to so we were uptown in Bronx River. I think it was Bronx River Public School or something like that. Moved down to PS 27 on one. Oh man, it's on was it Brook Avenue? I think it's on. No, it might be between Brook and Cypress Avenue. But that's where I went to school, and then my junior high school was in Clark, 149th Street, Clark 149. Excuse me. And then from there, I went to Morris High School, and that's where things got crazy. Things got, you know, we were in the first high school that installed metal detectors. Like that.
Oh wow!
That was back in the early '90s when kids started getting shot up in the schools, and I got a lot of homies that got shot up too. And when I seen all that stuff, I already knew from that time. I said, this shit ain't, this ain't cute. I flirted here and there, you know what I'm saying, with the ideas, and you had to be tough, so you had to, throw down, right? But at the same time, you're not stupid. You're a little destined for more, But damn, I think I ruined your question. What was the question again? My bad.
That's all right.
That was good.
That's good.
We got nothing but time. So this is about learning about shoes. So it's stuff is like, I think you mentioned about the skate keys. I remember that place getting shot up all the time.
Yeah. There's the one in Allerton Avenue, which is the one you were talking about. I used to go in there back in the early '90s too. I think early '90s. I was a teenager. You would go with your whole crew.
Yeah.
Go from you rep your neighborhood, and that has a lot to do with the food stamp stuff. It's like these groups that rep their neighborhood.
Okay.
But you play on it, and they're like, you got these kids who think they're ninjas, but then you got this other group who think they're like, it's similar to Warriors. You got the monster guys, or you got these crazy dudes with like skateboards or something. So yeah, Allerton Avenue, a lot of things went down there, man. And I remember it, but it was cool because you go there, you have fun, but there was that element of danger that made things even more fun. Like Times Square back in the arcade Playland.
Yeah, the Playland.
That was another one. You got to have
even the new one when they put in the new one. How many years ago? 10, 20 years ago? Barcade. Even that got shot up and people stabbed in that place too.
Wow.
I liked it when it was Playland. So
Playland was awesome.
We're in our 40s, so
okay. So we know, in Playland, there was a sea of machines, and it was like, it wasn't like it was now where you play people online and you're like, yeah, you can jump up and down in your living room like you're the shit.
Yeah.
This time you had to look homie in the face after you beat him. And if you beat him too many times, he might have got insulted and got sensitive, and things go down. Like especially Street Fighter,
that's why we went to Chinatown for that. We went to Chinatown. I was like, we still have that place too. It's just so small now, but
yeah, absolutely, man. But those were some good times. But it was good because it's the diversity that you overcome that just like builds this character in you, and it helps you out. And it helps you really kind of strategize where you want to go, what you got to do. You start to think that way.
Yeah.
At least for me, the knuckleheads are the ones that get swept up, and Yeah,
I'm happy. Like you said, it's like we had the weirdest things of gangs and even projects. Oh, you're from this project. You're from that project. It used to kill me because I was from Taft Projects. So I had when I lived in Spanish Harlem. And I think Reggie Booms, Scarface.
Yes, sir.
And
Shout out Reggie. I love
Shout out Reggie. My name is Reggie. And I was like, because he was the only other Reggie I knew from the area. So I was like, what? Who's this Reggie I keep on hearing about? I finally met him in person. I probably ran into him a few times before, but I met him in person, I think at 5 Points or something. But and I started following him recently because I know he was supporting something locally, like a sneaker store that he used to go to a lot. That's like figures, I think.
Yeah.
But But like I said, he was from Jefferson. I believe he was from Jefferson. There was always beef with people from Taft and Jefferson. Like, we're so close to each other. I was like, because I had nothing but love for and like family members out there. So I used to always walk. I'm like, my church was right there. So I was like, this is stupid to me, but it's how it was. Everybody used to rep their hood, their neighborhood, because we had like, you know, but I guess Dipset or Jim Jones was on the other side of Taft. It was always craziness or something like that. But yeah, I understand that. It was the fun stuff of the day.
Crazy. So
I got myself involved in any of those crazy fights. I would just show off who I was, and people left me alone. So that was it.
In my neighborhood, you know, it was you had to know two things, right? One was boxing, and the other was baseball. You know, because I grew up in a Black and Spanish neighborhood. Everyone was playing ball or like, you know, boxing or both. You know, usually there were dudes that were nice at both of them. So sometimes you got people who like to show off and start, you know, bumping knuckles with other people. And you had to like not get caught up in that, you know, so you had to defend yourself. So everybody was out there boxing. You know, I think the Reggie thing comes from the 70s with Reggie Jackson being from the Bronx. I mean, not from the Bronx, but being
Bronx is burning.
Yeah, he was half Black, half Puerto Rican. He was a superstar, you know. But 4 home runs in the World Series, 3 or 4. Yeah, I get older now. My memory's bad. But
no, trust me, I'm with you on that. But yeah, that's where I got it from. So yeah,
yeah, absolutely. I'm sure there's like a ton of Reggies out there.
Yeah, it's just not like close by, and then Puerto Rican Reggies is not another thing too. So it's like, so everybody hears Reggie, like, wait, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, man. But I got a lot of love for Reggie up there too, and shout out to him. I got a lot of respect for him. He's out there doing his thing. Got his love for designer toys.
Oh, definitely. I see he's serious about that. So it's like, it's.
Yeah, man. But you're right.
That's another thing. I've noticed they have a lot of weird, like back before COVID, they had a lot of weird pop-up things happening around Manhattan. And it's like, if you knew about something, you knew about something. If not, but now it's like it'll be a place that's almost as small as an apartment. You walk in and go, oh wow, and
Chris did a couple of those, and
there's a lot of artists that did that. So
other artists, especially down in Soho, in the Soho area.
Yeah, it's just amazing. It's like, what the hell? Like, and if you don't know about it, and just like sometimes Geeky will hit us up, but it'd be last minute. I'm like, I'm not gonna go all the way downtown. It's like, but it was. I thought some stuff was like worth it. I was like amazed. I was like, that could just happen on the blink of an eye.
Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of talent, you know, all over the place that you don't really get to see showcased. The galleries, you know, there's a lot of retailers that are doing like gallery spaces on the weekends, and that helps. You know, just getting awareness is a tough thing. That's why you're seeing everybody grind with this COVID thing. Because we got that awareness taken away from us, you know, from that hopping to conventions, you know. And now we've got to overcome that and just kind of show that we're still alive and still working and grinding.
Yeah. A question. Which anime movie or which anime series was the one that gave you the inspiration for the design of your food stamps?
There isn't a particular one. But I can tell you what I grew up with, and I can tell you what I like best. What I do like, what I did grow up with, of course, was Voltron. That's an anime. A lot of people don't really judge it that way because they almost see it as an American show, but it really is an anime. I Voltron, Robotech. What else?
Because he took my Voltron figure. I had like a big figure. He grabbed it and went home with it. I was like,
was it the big Mattel one?
It was the Toys R Us one. That you had to put all the figures together, and then it was. I was like,
yeah, the show. So but I gotta say that my favorite anime stuff is Ninja Scroll.
Oh my god,
the best. Vampire Hunter D, not the remake, the one I think it was in the 80s, 70s or 80s. Vampire Hunter D, Ninja Scroll, of course, that's probably number one. Akira, like everybody, Akira still stands. Like you see that point. So much.
I got the figures in my bag right now. I had to get it. That bike is ridiculous.
Akira, Battle Alita. I had a VHS, not the movie. Even though the movie was good, but I do have the 2-part episode movie with the anime was just ridiculous. It was beautiful.
It was way more graphic than the movie was. We free the movie because we get to do a lot of premieres and all that stuff. But that's another thing we miss. But you know, with COVID, not trying to jump on that.
Because I remember in anime, like I love anime.
Yeah.
And I still do with some of the VHS. Like I got
What's up, Newbie Comics? And everybody's commenting.
MD Geists. I don't know if you remember that one.
Which one?
MD Geist.
Yes, I remember that.
Guyver stuff.
Yeah, and I got some Guyver. And
Guyver was the shit. Yeah, that's right.
And it was just the simple fact, but like back in the days, it was fun. Like you would rush home, like to catch these animes that'll probably be on maybe like once a week. And catch them. You got to move the antenna on the TV to catch them the right way.
That's right. Look at that. That's dope. McFarlane toys, right?
Yo, McFarlane. Yo, I got almost the whole set. Akira at least.
I got that same one. I got the big one. There's a bigger one too. There's like it comes in a box.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that one. It was like $3 or more.
You know the anime stuff. We used to watch it. Oh, that's awesome. The anime stuff. We used to watch it in. We used to watch it in the Spanish channels. Channel 41.
Actually, that was crazy. In Puerto Rico, had them. Like you go visit Puerto Rico, go over there, and like, wow, you just be watching all the cartoons, and I'm like, I don't care, I'm watching.
In Puerto Rico was the first time I ever watched Messenger.
Oh yeah,
That's the first time that that was the first time when I went on vacation. I was young in Puerto Rico.
Right,
it was the only robot that I knew how to draw perfectly.
Yeah, that's the first time in the Spanish channels. Channel 41 was
whatever that was.
Was Gigantor.
Oh, Gigantor was my shit.
Yeah, Gigantor was my first, and then I was always looking for that anime look. I would tell my mother and my grandmother, God rest her soul, because she used to always she used to say we lived in humble space, so we all would watch TV in her bed. She had a big bed and was one TV, and we were all under her wing. And when the wrestling came on, I think it was WWF, but it was different back then. It
was more AWA and all this other stuff.
Yeah. It was a bunch of different shows, and we would just watch the Lucha Libre. And then after that, it was like 11 p.m. and they would show the dog brushing his teeth. It's anime.
Yeah.
It was anime after that, and that was like awesome. And just like Fox 5 back in the day was the Kung Fu flicks on Saturdays.
Yeah, Saturdays. Yep. And then moved to Sundays after that.
Yeah, man. So those are big influences on me. But I gotta go with probably Ninja Scroll is like the number one. It just stays stuck in my head. But Guyver's dope. I remember Guyver. I remember the American movies too.
Oh my god.
With Jimmy,
I love one love right here. I'm younger than y'all. Ninja Scroll scared me. It was not for the faint of heart. I'm sorry. There's stuff out there. It was just like there's some, especially some like movies that went on the border of like fighting and then almost hentai, and I was like, what the hell? Like like that Overfiend stuff. I was like, what? Like I used to go to Chinatown. Canal Street. That was our thing. There used to be underground markets, buy all this stuff before even the kids knew about this. Watching Dragon Ball Z 20 years ago. Now what the hell? It's like when I loved it, but now I was like, okay. I was like, yeah. New big comics talking about Kung Fu on Saturdays. Of course, we was like
Saturdays, man. That's it. You stay indoors the whole day, and it's like 3-4 different movies, and it was amazing.
Shaolin something.
Yeah, but it's also the cheesy 80s ninja movies like American Ninja, the Shokazugi movies, the
American Ninja. I love Michael Dudikoff. Come on.
Yeah, good. It went downhill, but that was American Ninja 1 was good, and 2 was all right.
Yeah.
But there was like the Shokazugi ones, like Enter the Ninja, Revenge of the Ninja. Like he had a nice little thing going. They messed it up when they brought the girl ninja with she got some demon possessed up. Crazy. But I ran in the hood with ninja with a ninja gear on.
That was my costume for like 5 years straight.
Everybody was
serious, because in the South Bronx they had a lot of vacant lots, a lot of buildings were burnt. So we would run in them, and they were like ninja obstacles for us. You know what I'm saying? And they would have a lot of mom and pop stores, which they don't have anymore, unfortunately. But there were a lot of little like Korean mom and pop stores, and ninja stars, and
we got that all around here. I loved it.
Yeah, you used to get real weapons. Things were metal.
Nunchucks. You know how being like 14 years old or even 12 with nunchucks and hitting yourself with it. Oh my god!
Oh, man. Yeah, man. Everybody wanted to be Bruce, man.
Yeah, everybody wanted to be Bruce.
I remember being trying to be a ninja. Have you ever blown a smoke bomb in your pocket?
Little cherry bombs.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, disappeared.
Yeah.
Nigga, you're behind the car, nigga. What's wrong with you? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man. So I was like talking about the food stamps. It's just crazy name because I was like, I know everybody. How many people like hit me? He's coming to me. I was like, do not say FU stamps. It's food stamps.
Yeah.
I'm fool.
People say FU stamps. I don't know why. They just like it.
Because you know what it is. Some people actually. I've noticed with designer stuff. Some people do want to put like bad words in there, but not gonna be like so it's so that's like it sticks in your head. But when you see these guys are doing certain things, it's kung fu. So
Yeah, it's first. I started with Bodega Blade, right? Bodega Blade was a character that came from the New York Times headline that read Bodega Ninja protects his store or something. And it was about this old man who owned this bodega, and somebody tried to rob him at gunpoint, and he pulled out a machete and cut the guy's hand off.
Yeah, that's about right.
So I was like, that was dope. The Bodega Ninja. I got to do something with that. So I would pull out my sketchbook and do these characters. And he looked completely different then, though. He had like these overalls with daggers. It was a little stupid back then. But I said, what if this dude looks like he's doing the hold up? He's digging into his parka, but he pulls Anna instead. And instead,
you can see right in the background.
Instead of him doing something negative, right? Instead of him doing something negative, he's doing something positive, And then I developed this team, this group of kids, but everybody had a different story. So food stamps was an old idea I had about little kids from the hood, and it was a story about me and my friends. But I was like, that's not enough. Like this, kids need some secondary thing to like attract people. So what if they're just like little kung fu badasses, or they love kung fu movies, but it doesn't help them in a fight? They like get their ass whipped anyway. So then I developed this world where every block has a gang, and every gang wants a piece of that bodega because it's an important part of, getting control of the whole neighborhood. Okay. So what if the kid, the abuelo, the grandfather owns the place, but the little kid is defending it. His little homies are defending it. So it's more like it's their lair, it's their sanctuary. So in a nutshell, it's about these kids that band together to protect the neighborhood bodega against rival gangs. So food stamps was always a name that I loved because it reads my beginnings, It was an occurrence everyone knew. I used to run to the bodega and be like, yo, can I get this, with my little $5 food coupon and stuff. And it was just a way to tie people from the hood together. We all have those experiences. So I never really saw food stamps as a negative. I understand that people might see it as like a stereotype or a negative cliche, but I don't see it that way. I see it like an obstacle. Again, it's like I can't move past this obstacle unless I remember what made me jump that hurdle, or I'll bust my ass next time I jump that hurdle. So food stamps was it was because we were stupid poor. But
Yes.
also these kids love kung fu, so kung fu stamps. So it's food stamps. It's a play on words, but it was always meant to be. It was always meant to be provocative. It was always supposed to be like, "What? That's negative," and I wanted to get that conversation started. So that's how I came up with food stamps.
That's dope.
Oh, that's dope.
So tell me about all the characters you have.
So the leader is Bodega Blade. He's the straight shooter. He's the Leonardo of the group.
Okay.
He's all into like books and learning and wanting to put the other guys in line. Then you have Screwface, who's kind of like the star scream of the group. Like he got love for his team, but he's kind of like, I should be like the guy, And he's got a big chip on his shoulder. He comes from a really bad background. His father's locked up. His mother's in the streets, and he is trying to change his life. And the sensei, he connects with the sensei, and the sensei is like more of a father figure than his real father. So in the story, the sensei, it's a spoiler alert, will disappear. Yep. In the comic book series, the sensei will disappear and Screwface is gonna go nuts.
Yeah.
So because his father figure isn't there, he makes his own crew.
Okay.
So his own crew is a bunch of crazy vandals, bad guys. But then eventually he comes back, So then the other guy is Demonio. He's more like the Spectre. He's an urban legend. He's kind of like when you hear these stories about there's a ghost in that house,
Yeah.
abandoned building. He's that kid that people are like have made him a legend.
Okay.
So he's raised in an abandoned building. He lives in the walls, and he's kind of a hybrid between a demon and an angel kid because he was killed actually. That would be. I'm not giving a lot of spoilers.
Oh wow.
So he's one of those kids that you hear in the news like, oh, we found a kid and this and these unfortunate stories. So he has his chip on his shoulders, and his goal is to avenge his death. So that's Demonio. And then you've got Baby Renzo, which is a total secret.
He loves
Renzo. Yeah, Baby Renzo's the Hulk of the group. He's a baby kaiju, like a baby Godzilla.
That's what's it.
And what he does is he's actually an infant, so he gets in these tantrums and he can't control his anger, and he's really pissed off and maybe wants some milk or something. But then eventually he outgrows them and jumps in the Hudson River and becomes a gigantic kaiju.
The big one right behind you.
Yeah. And then there's Sensei, his name is Sensei, but his real name is General Tron, and he's the guy that kind of brings them in and shows them the right way. He lost some family members, so he brings these kids on as his own, and he says, all right, I gotta put these kids on the straight and narrow because they've got a lot of potential. Then you've got Mad Black. Mad Black is the basketball player. He has the most talent, the most skill, and he's tapped into his potential, which is like the glow, in Enter the Dragon.
Oh yes.
He's tapped into his glow, right? And by tapping into his glow, now anything he holds has like enormous power. So he does this fireball thing, like a Street Fighter reference. And he's the youngest out the group, so they all protect him because he's the best shot of getting out the hood. So he's the youngest, but he's tapped into the power the most. But he just doesn't know how to use it. They protect him, And that's the full crew, man. And then you've got the different groups. You've got the Pink Skeletons, which is a group of females that have been victimized. Yep.
Yes.
So there's a lot. This story is a lot darker than people think. The Pink Skeleton stands for. I had a friend. I'm gonna like sanitize the story for you. I had a friend of mine who was victimized in a terrible way, and I had this dream. I was really upset, and I wanted to do something. I had this dream that the person had died, and I started spraying pink skeletons all over New York because no one would listen to her when she was alive.
Okay.
So the idea was that the pink skeleton represents people in the closet that are going to battle for you when you can't battle for yourself. You know, so they're good, but they fight with the Food Crew too. Then you got the Force 44s, who they're a bunch of like metalheads. Then you've got the Kaiju Killers. They're a bunch of little monsters, and you know, it's just like having fun with it, but also bringing some of that. It's probably therapy for me. I got to release all these dark.
That's awesome. Yeah, because you're writing these stories.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Yeah, so I was like, so no, because I was like, you know, sometimes you like, okay, he's the artist. No, you're not the artist in there. You're the writer.
I'm the writer. I laid out the story. I in the comic book anyway. I do it all. In the comic book, I just didn't illustrate it just because that's just too much work. I can't do. So I try to illustrate at least the cover, you know, like a lot of comic book artists do. But I did lay out the story. The story's developed. It's like I've spoiled some of the story already.
Yeah. I haven't gotten into it yet because I missed out on Zero. Zero sold out. And I'm not sure that one you did the art inside or
I did the art in the outside. I did the cover, which is
the cover
behind me. But you didn't miss much because the first issue is just an expansion on the first. So the Zero is just like a preview.
Okay.
And then part 1 has that preview, but there's like 5 more pages.
Okay, I haven't opened them. I just got these in today.
Yeah,
so I think like wow, I just got these. I ordered them. You know, got the food stamps. I was like,
thank you. Shout out.
I want them, and then you sign the back of it too. And then I got this, which I'm gonna have to find somebody to work on it. Maybe I was like Gorilla or somebody else, but I want to find somebody because I always go to some kind of artist alley or something. Well, I'll find somebody, but I had to support and get the 3.
Yeah, that's the thing. I want people to come in and have fun with me on this stuff. You know, I want to see artist interpretations. I'll do a roll call right now. Like, if you're an artist and you want to be on the second issue 2 cover, just hit me up, show me some work, and you'll get on the cover. I mean, it's that easy. It's not like I'm looking for. There's so many different arts. You could use it whatever medium, and I'll put it on the cover.
Yeah, because this is beautiful. This is what Apple. It says.
Apple Nunez. Yes, Apple Nunez. She actually bought a crack baby from me.
Oh, she did. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Crack baby.
Yeah, these are my crack babies.
Yeah, which is sold out. I mean, when I went to the website, I was so pissed off because I missed out on it, and I also missed out on what's his name?
Demonio.
Yeah, Demonio with the gun metal.
The gun smoke color.
Yeah, I missed out on that. I was like, oh man.
You have 2 figures coming out, right?
So I've got. You'll be happy to know that Crack Babies is coming back. The same figure.
Okay.
Will be available. I was selling these as a DIY. It was a white blank.
Yes.
But now I'm doing something where my campaign is pushing the Ben on Black, right? So that's everything from everything this year will be black. Okay, so I'll have a Crack Baby, but it'll be completely black. I'm doing a Black Lives Matter, which is breaking news because I didn't think I was going to pull that off. But there'll be a Black Lives Matter version of Screwface.
That's dope.
Coming out.
I did see that. Yeah.
Proceeds will be helped to help push that cause. And then I have Sensei coming out, which I just got first shots of. Which I can show the little guy. This is the Sensei. This is him very small.
Yeah, I remember you was talking about the hair. I was watching you on the live before. What's these guys? I forgot the name of the crew that you were on with. They were talking about comic books. You stayed the whole time with them.
Oh yeah. Shout out to oh my God,
Something House.
Trap House. Yes.
Trap House. Yeah.
Yes.
Who did that artwork? I was like, damn, I gotta compete with that. I can't compete with that artwork. That was awesome intro they did for you. I was like, damn, that was high. And I watched the whole episode because I think that was when they were showing off all their Silver Surfers.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got some of those over here.
Yeah, man. They have some gems. I got a lot. Actually, I'll be there a little more often. They gave me an invite, and I was like, I can't do every, because
No, I think we're on they're on Thursdays because I'm watching
Thursdays. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can't really do every Thursday because of my workload, but I'll jump in, pop in and out. So shout out to Comic Book Trap House if you want to, tune in there every now and then. I don't mean to plug somebody's thing with yours.
Oh, go ahead, plug anybody. This is what we supposed to do. It's like plugging anybody. We have your website up in here. If we could show it off, whatever.
Beautiful.
Want to.
All right.
Yeah, so right now.
Yeah, man. I'm just So I'm just hard at work. Yes. So that's Baby Renzo. You'll be able to get your hands on him soon in the black version. So look out for that.
I also seen on your website is a cool figure too, the Raging Demon.
Yeah, that's been sold out for a while. That's the Raging Demon. That's the Akuma version of Demonio here that you see on the screen. Yeah, that's dope that you can do that while you're on here.
Yeah, it's through this I guess StreamYards. I'm learning as I go. Like I told you, if it wasn't for Edwin the Comic Jabroni, he taught me how to use this. I paid for the next plan up because it's free, but you can pay to monthly or the whole year and add these little things onto it. So it's like to add the backgrounds.
Yeah.
A lot of cool things. I'm learning as I go. So I love to learn little new things. And got it because we're not in the studio anymore. We used to be in the studio before, and next to John Jay. So because our show used to be at nighttime, like I think Tuesday nights. So
Tuesday from
I forgot what time it was, like 12 o'clock or midnight or whatever, 12:30 probably. So it's just So
how dope that is.
Yeah, it's dope as hell. And then Decon, yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the Gunsmoke. The Gunsmoke just sold out recently. That one actually moved slower than I thought. I don't know if it was the way I promoted it because Screwface came out first.
Mm-hmm.
Came out at the same time. So people already had their Demonio. So when I released Screwface, they were like, I'll get the new guy. So Screwface was the new guy, so they copped him first.
I love the back.
The Bloodsuckers. Yeah, that's when he turned. He creates his own team, and he creates the Bloodsuckers. So now at this point he's out for revenge because somebody's napped up his sensei. So he goes rogue and goes nuts.
That's cool.
So he's got red in his eyes, literally.
Where's this? This is your original design, or you got this from somewhere?
That's me. Yeah.
Okay. I always have to ask because sometimes you might see it somewhere else and got it and made it your own way.
No, but that actually the Bloodsuckers font is Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, okay. I think I did hear you mention that. That was crazy.
Yeah. I've actually had that logo for a while. I just didn't know how to use it. And when I was developing the story and said, Screwface should just kind of fucking turn straight out, like go nuts. I've always liked when the insides are battling. It's a nice story.
Yeah.
Bodega Blade have like an epic battle, like ridiculous, and it's gonna be like a whole comic of just busting ass. But that's some ways down,
I saw you do this one. I was like, yeah, this is mine. It's the one and only. I was like,
yeah, I haven't finished that actually. I took a shot of that one to show what you can do. If you got some pens, some permanent pens,
So where did you actually find some of these artists actually from?
So Apple Nunez, shout out to Apple Nunez, super talented. How I met her was actually in the Pins and Patches Expo.
Oh yeah, I missed that place.
Yeah, she copped the crack baby for me. That's where I launched it. Like I wanted to see what would happen if I can launch something and not really talk about it, So I was just like, here it is. This is the first place you get it. And
was that Pins and Patches I didn't go to?
That might have been the one.
Okay. I know there was a Pins and Patches I missed out, but I went away right after Comic-Con or whatever it was. I was like, damn it.
Yeah, I didn't know if I really fit in there because Pins and Patches, and I had just two pins, that I was selling.
Oh no, please! It's just because it's called Pins and Patches doesn't mean obviously you learned that, but it's a lot of people with their pins and patches. But
yes,
people just showing shirts and other things. So it's like,
yeah, absolutely. So Apple buys a crack baby for me. She's like, "Oh man, this is cool," and I'm like, "All right, well, follow me here. I'm doing my thing, right? I'm giving my cards away, telling people to follow and to tune in, spread the word. It's a lot of the hustle. And I see this image, right? So at the point now we're following each other, and I hit on one of the pages, and I'm like, "Yo, you down?" Like, "Oh shit!" And she's actually, I really believe that she's super, super talented, and I think she's gonna blow. And I wanted to grab her and have her do my cover before she blows up. So that is the first. I believe that might be her first publicated image.
That's dope because it reminds me of someone else, I guess. And then the vibrant colors. That's the whole thing about it. Because everybody's on the whole Peach Momoko thing right now. So that's if you've been hearing about her left and right, and this is something like it looks almost towards her way, but she's more into the I think horror stuff. But they try to make her look all cutesy stuff. But I'm like,
go check her out. It's Apple Nunez Art. I think it's at Apple Nunez Art on Instagram, or hit me up if you want to. Like, I think that's the handle.
He's writing it down, but yeah, definitely. I'll look for it. She probably follows you. I'll follow because it's just like wow. When I saw that, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to follow this person, see where they come from.
Yeah, because
maybe it's the next person I have to interview because we interview everybody else diversely, and it's just cool to see people locally too. So she's from here, or no?
She's from New York. I think she's in New York. If not, then she's really close. But I think she's in New York.
I don't know. I'm digging these two shirts. I love the brown though.
Well, thank you. I've got some. Well, we're gonna talk after the show.
I've got
some of those brown. The blacks are pretty. I got a small offering of those still. I ordered so many. To keep that cost down. So
and you're talking about cost. You're doing this yourself. This is all you. This is not coming from like a warehouse.
No, it's all me. Yeah, it's
smart, man.
Well, because there's it's simple, but it seems like it's not simple to a lot of people.
Oh no, I bet you it's not. So
but I mean the point that a lot of designer toy artists are hoping to get picked up by a toy company that distributes vinyl toys.
Mm-hmm.
So when I found out like the rates that the artists are getting, I was like, no, not doing that. So I said, let me go, let me do my own thing. And I'm doing my own thing, but I also collaborate with a lot of other toy companies, for releases and stuff, and that's good. They really help. Like, I'm not saying they're not worth it. I just feel like the artist does get frapped on a little bit,
Of course, yeah.
Usually, but they're changing things up though, because I've spoken to some people recently, and their rates are a little better than before. So I think things are beginning to catch up in the favor of the artists. You know, it'll never be like the artist getting everything, because a lot of these companies put the money down for production and they got to promote. So I respect that and I appreciate that, and I know that they do a lot of the lifting. But a lot of the rates that these artists are getting are nothing, you know. So I didn't want to do that. So I said, let me go my own route, and I started investigating, just like everything you want to get into. You start doing a little research, you know. And I got into some research, and an artist. I ain't gonna shout him out because I'm a little pissed off at him. I might smack him when I see him. This guy, he was cool at first, but this guy, you hear it first. you'll see, and you'll hear the ganata from over there. So this guy is he actually gave me some good advice, you know. So I feel kind of bad about shitting on, but he was like, listen, just start off with resin, you know, and bring it in, and then you'll see you can keep minimum. He gave me a lot of good advice. Keep your quantities low, and then you expand it. Don't like throw a bunch of money and think you're gonna be like noticed right away, because that's not gonna happen. So he gave me some good advice. Some artists do that though. You know, they could jump on the toy people that have that power. But I was like, all right, so I did it that way, you know. And right now I'm still grinding, still in the trenches, and still doing that. But at least the stuff is coming through me. Like what you got right now, you got a comic book, you know. I wrote on it, you know.
Yeah.
Thing, and I'm trying to make it. It probably won't stay that way forever.
Of course, yeah.
Trying to keep that relationship tight, where you spend some bucks on me if you know.
I wasn't expecting this. You signed one of them, and then you gave me love on the back of one of them. So I was like, yo, it's, you know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's my way. You know, I try to do that all the time, and that's my way of like showing love back. And it's just 2 seconds, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But he's surprised. Sometimes 2 seconds to you is nothing. To other people, it's like, you know, that's what makes the difference. Yeah. It's like, that's why I love Pins and Passage. I love 5 Points Brooklyn. I love like all these people I met. Like, you know, like I think the first time I went to, which was talking about the pier, what was it? Cash Cannon, I think I met.
He was much love from Cash Cannon, great dude.
Yeah, he was. I think his family's always doing something. His wife and his wife was always there chilling, and she's like, sometimes I come over and she's selling the stuff because he's not around, and I'm like, oh. And he had some crazy stuff. I was like, he was over here showing off like I think he was showing off the Batman Who Laughs. He had made a sculpture out of it before anybody else even thought about it. I was like, what the hell? Like
he actually did a custom of Bodega Blade. He knocked it out the park. It was had this chain with the Santa Barbara, and it had
I think you guys were actually near each other, like probably like a table apart from each other.
Oh yeah. On the Patches and Pins. Yeah, we were like 3 tables away.
I'm not talking actually about 5 points. Actually, no.
5 points. We were like, man, kind of. It was like a row and a half down.
Okay. Oh, I thought you for some reason he was there. Maybe that's
he was there. He was in both. Yeah. But I got a lot of love for him too. And there's people that you connect with on a personal level, and you know, and there's artists that you like their work, but you know they're you know, and you respect what they do. You just don't fuck with them like that.
No, there's a lot of people. There's people pushing hard on their stuff, and you know, there's people, like I said, there's talented people. There's people that are writers that do it all, and like like you said, I'm not trying to do it all. I have a family, and it's like it's hard work for a lot of that stuff, or it just takes so much time. We know some good people. Who was another good one? Danielle De Jesus. I was like
Danielle De Jesus. I discovered on IG. She sent her pins and her artwork is amazing. Shout out to her.
Yeah, once I saw Roberta Clemente, I was like, oh, and then she became.
Yeah, man. She got the Platano, what do you call that?
Oh yeah, the Platano maker and all that stuff. I've had some crazy pins. I've even given them away because I buy pins. I'll go to 5 Points and spend $400 easily, and then I'll go and I'll look through my pins and go, why did I buy this? And I was like, I loved it, but I'm not gonna put it in my bag. I do put certain things on my bag, but I'm like, I'm not gonna be able to put this on my bag. So, but stuff, some of that I think actually might might have made it to my bag. Yeah, I definitely have her little. I think.
I got the glow in the dark Panther.
Yeah,
Panther.
I'm not sure where I got the. I think this is somebody else here, but I think there's Wepa Flan. We got to give a shout out to.
That's right.
I got right here.
There's another a good friend that we met at we met him at where was it? It was at Comic-Con first.
Yeah, probably at Comic-Con first. And we mess with him as hard as possible. He's cool people.
Listen, I've got a bunch of them. I got some right here in the windowsill, and I still keep buying them because I give them to family members, and they crack up.
I know. I did the same thing. I bought like 4 or 5 of them, and
I keep buying them.
I open wrapper around here.
Yeah,
my sister. I put it inside the refrigerator.
Yeah,
like in a brown bag. So right. Yo, she likes flan. I'm like, yo, I bought some flan. So she goes in there, and she she doesn't look at the cover. So she go ahead, tries to open it, tries to put the spoon in. She's like, God damn it.
Was she pregnant then?
No.
I was going to say, that'd be mean. Don't mess with her pregnant.
Oh, man, word.
Nah, she wasn't pregnant then. But that flan went like right past me. I was like, oh, man.
The last time we saw it was at a weird show, right? It was downtown.
Yeah, it was downtown on like 30.
And we had just missed then, Danielle, but it was a little, like you said, a little, like not even a hole in one, but it was like a cafe, and they had people in there, selling off stuff. It was anything from like gems to pins to artwork, and I was like, wow. I was like, that's why I love the city. It's like you could just find anything and everything happening.
Yeah, Whip Flan has a. I remember I did before I went into the toy thing. I was talking to him. And we were like talking a little, and he gave me some good advice too. And he's a product development guy too. He's like me, we're like a product, like we create shit, like things that you guys hold in your hands every day.
Yeah.
Stuff. And much respect for him, and I love how he's doing it his way too. So shout out to Wepa.
Did you get any slack for your characters not being the so-called standard cap with the underwear sticking out, stuff like that, like the regular superheroes, like they say?
Yeah. I got I'll tell you a little story. When I released Bodega Blade, the timing was like, it was great for me, but it was also bad, so it was great only because I was like, here it goes, now I got him. It's like, let's see what happens.
That's your baby, releasing him to the world.
It was it's that pop bottle moment, and and that was beautiful. But something also happened where there was a tragic thing that happened in the bodega. We all know the kid. God rest his soul. But so that was released around that time, and people were like, "What the heck is going on in this artist's brain?" They don't know that the thing was developed.
It's been years in production and whatever.
Yeah, it's been like in the works. It takes like a half a year. This was so anyway. They did a New York One story where it was like, oh, this hero from the Bronx, and it was Bodega Blade, and people just like went nuts. But it was really the people who are just too damn bored and just like to tear your own people down. You know what I'm saying? There is
the world.
There are those miserable people, and it really was. But what happened was then the good stuff. And I gotta say, it was from all over. Like there were white dudes, Asians,
awesome.
Everybody that were like, "Yo, that shit is dope. What are you talking about?" Like if Bodega Blade stands for someone that's protecting the neighborhood, not going out hurting people. So there was that, and people, and of course the name food stands. People like, but. The thing about designer toys is if I don't do what I like or feel or that I know, then it's not a designer toy. It's not an art toy. It's a manufactured, sanitized piece of shit. I can't do that. That's not. Listen, I don't have to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to. I do it because it's like an artist or a poet or a singer that just has something to say, and this is my thing to say. And if you don't want to hear it, that's cool. You can turn the channel.
Yeah.
But it's true. That's what we're all doing it for. I'm not gonna be the pop culture guy because that's not what I see here. What I see is some shit, and I've seen some shit throughout my life. And if I don't paint,
survived it.
Yeah, if I don't paint that, and I shout out to Miss Eingert, God bless her. I think she passed away, but Miss Eingert from when I think I was in 6th grade, and she told me, your writing is amazing, but what you got to do is write what you know. And that shit stood with me. That was like 30 years ago. Everything stood with me. And I always try to write what I know, paint what I know. So these guys have to look like me. They have to feel like me. They got to sound like me. They got to, their title has to be a little rough around the edges. Crack babies, you know what I'm saying? But it has double meanings. It's crack babies because it's addicting as hell. To paint these guys, but it's also playing with that line of negativity and stereotypes. And
I love the little logo you had on the corner of it too.
Yeah. I just want to pull down those stupid things that people judge you for.
Barriers.
If I'm raised up and food stamps is my currency, I shouldn't be knocked on about it. Help lift me rather than put me down. So when people were talking about like the whole Bodega Blade's a negative guy and he's a stereotype, then you're just putting me down. You're not seeing the good in it. So fuck them. You know what I'm saying? But it was, and that's something that it's okay because a lot of those people actually come to conventions, and when I talk to them, they get rewired. They're like, that's actually a good dude that just like doing his art, man. That has nothing to do with the crime rates in New York. That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
And I know from your art and everything, was it hard to transcend from doing artwork to doing designing your own figures? Like, was it hard to go from one to the other?
It would have been hard if I didn't have the schooling behind. There's a lot of designer toy artists that are not really toy designers.
Okay.
But they're toy designers in the fact that they gave somebody a piece of art and
then the other person did the rest.
Somebody figured it out.
Yeah.
But I have a degree in toy design, and I in FIT, I went back to school late in my 30s, and I got my toy design degree, and I went to Fisher Price, Mattel, Toys R Us. And so I developed and I knew like about plastic shrinkages and manufacturing processes and deco operations, which is like how to paint the figure and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which the knowledge is out there now. So anybody, if you pick up a book or go online, you can design stuff, but there's certain little things here and there that I can tackle on the front line. Like if I get a sculpt back from the sculptor or if they're not doing something that I envision in my head, I could always tell them what I want. I can make it beautiful. And a lot of people, once they get that artwork, they're like, how does it look good? I need their help, but no, I didn't find it hard. I found if I was just illustrating like I used to before, then maybe, but when you learn Turner, you could also design like 2D, in a 2D way where you're doing turnarounds and you're calling things out. Like, this is what the bottle looks like the sensei. Like I can say, he looks like this view, he looks like this view, he looks like that view. But then I also got to tell them how to break this guy up, like manufacturing wise, like do they make this separate from the body? And then what about this braid? You can't mold, you can't cast that braid like that. So the braid would be one piece. You got to figure out what the pieces are that you want to and it's called in molded coloring. So you can say, all right, the sneakers are black, so that's one piece, so that you can give the manufacturer easier way of painting the Nike check, and they're not painting the whole sneaker. It's a black piece, and you're just painting a white check rather than I got to paint a black, because you're paying for every paint operation.
And so what? Considered with Pantones and everything as well, probably.
Yeah. I got my Pantone books all.
I trust me. I used to know about Pantones.
Yeah.
I'm not a designer person, but I was a copier person. So you guys, Vex and all that stuff, and I'm just a regular office person. I just had to know about it because I worked for Xerox at one point. But
yeah, I got my books.
Knowing 0090, I was like, yo, yeah, those things cost money too. It's like, come on.
And I got the old joints, and I'm
I know those. That's how I know them.
Yeah, I got the old ones.
But it's like you said, it's amazing because you're talking about you're an original artist from hand drawing stuff, but you can also get on a computer and do your thing too.
Yeah,
and that's because you went and like you said, in your 30s and went and education to do so. And it's harder, and it's probably costing these people that like our artists trying to get toys out there that don't know nothing about computer graphics. They're giving their ID to somebody and letting them do it, and then they're losing how much money in that process. So you're just a powerhouse yourself. So
I'm trying. Well, thank you, but trying. I'm just.
You're not trying. You're doing.
Well, I'm wondering, but I do have help from my contacts and help from. A lot of places, and I can't. Somebody's making the shirt before I print on the shirt. Somebody making this. Putting these pieces together before I start designing and calling out what I want. So it is a team, and I've been finding it too that you develop a team, and it's like a sports team. You develop a team and you knock it out. You guys win a few championships, right? But what happens when your team starts wanting to go for the gold on their own? Now that's a thing that you also have to consider is the guy that's doing your stuff, helping you, is also wants to do his thing. So it's like a rotating door, and you always got to keep talent. You got to look for talent and refresh your roster. And it's just something I've been talking to my wife about this. Because I have a bunch of talented people around me, but I can't stop them from doing their thing. They want to do their thing. I'll be an asshole if I'm like,
hold it back.
Just for me, you know what I'm saying? So I'll be a dick if I did that, and I can't do that. So you gotta always be prepared for the future. There's always a screwball, a curveball somewhere, and you always gotta strategize and be prepared to adjust.
You always got to be ahead of the game.
Yeah, we have our peoples that help us out as much as possible, and it's like we always shouting them out as much as possible. And then even people it's the best thing about just this community in general, IG or just media or whatever. It's you got some good people behind you. I didn't know about this. Like I told you, I hit up a friend that does this on a regular, Comic Jabroni. He does YouTube live all the time with his other people's. And I'm like, how do I start this? Because you go to YouTube, it's live.
They don't tell you nothing.
There's you look up you do the help, and I was like, there's a guy that asked this question probably a couple of months ago, still hasn't got an answer. And I was like, how do I invite somebody to my live? So I had to find out use StreamYard, and then go do this, and then thank God for people on YouTube too, because I can't get this stuff down here. There's a sweet lady that she did a DIY thing, and she made this. I just put in, let's talk about Funko. I put your name in. It was a template. It was like if I knew who she was, I would shout her out right now, but I don't even know who she is.
That's dope. And then there is knowledge and there is power in knowledge. Once you know something, you don't unknow it.
Oh no, definitely.
Yeah. So once you get it, now you're good.
Yeah.
And if you good right now. I mean, if you left it like this, I can imagine what you're gonna turn this show into. Am I the first on this like series? There's a new series thing you're doing now, right?
Well, this is our live. This is not the first series. This is first live YouTube, and
I'm honored.
Oh, quite a while. So if you look, the last thing was him with Neil Adams.
Yeah,
right.
And he did it with Neil Adams at a show I didn't go to in the Bronx.
Must you bring back that?
But you interviewed Neil Adams. Neil Adams is a star. This guy is a guy that didn't even go to high school, right? I don't even think he would, because
that was his alma mater, though.
Where you at? But it wasn't high school. Or was it high school? It was high school. He never went to college. But this is a guy that he's known for all his comic book covers and
like Batman
and Superman and all that stuff from back in the days. And you go to these comic conventions. He's $50 signature or whatever it is, and he's making his known, and he teaches classes, and it's just he got to interview him. He got to interview other people. We didn't get to go, like Bob Kemp. The audio didn't go through. I wasn't there, but it's amazing to get behind a camera. We've been doing this since last year, pretty much more than anything. Early last year, we had the people come into the studio in 59th Street, just like we had Playful Gorilla, Bird Brain, a lot of other artists too. And as well as New York Comic Con, get to talk to people and interview them there at shows. Like we did at not 5 Points, Brooklyn Con. And it's like, just being able to get to people was amazing. So these little interviews you could just follow and see. But this is our very first YouTube live at my place, because we don't have a studio anymore, and who knows when we're gonna be back in the studio.
Where's the dinner? Where's the
we're gonna go to Chirp and Chicken, get some ribs and Bureau Avenue. It's
I gotta tell you a little secret. Like before, when I was in the waiting room before, you brought me in, I heard y'all talking about some food, and I was like, "Oh, that sounds good."
Well, that's because my niece was here. My niece Elizabeth is. She came upstairs. I live in the basement apartment. My sister's above me, and then the landlord. So he's over here coming, and she's like, "You gotta make my meatballs," and I'm over here giving my niece 2 bags of Funko Pops, big bags. I'm giving them away. And then her 2 daughters are coming in, and one of them asked for comic books. I gave her a box of comic books, like 100 comic books.
Wow.
In my kitchen right now, I have stacks of comic books and neatly, but I need to put them away. So my girlfriend said she'll work with me next week and organize all that stuff and put them away. But talking about Funko, I saw your stack behind you. You mentioned it.
Yeah, you're
not a big Funko person, but you do have some.
Yes, I'm not a huge Funko guy, but they're so all right. So I think everyone does love Funko because of what it is. It's like what they do is so great, and they capture those little iconic parts of the character.
Yeah.
But I do have some. But if I was to like invest in this thing, I'd be homeless. You know what I'm saying? There's so
his faults.
Many.
Interview somebody and say, if it wasn't for him and my homegirl Nina, oh my God, I probably have so much more money in my pockets, but I wasted so much on these things, and then now I'm just like, here, take it. I sold a few when I was able to get like a hot one off of Funko Shop, which like people will get those things and you sell it instantly. Oh, I want it, or I got to buy it. Let me sell it for $200. Get it out of my way. After I just bought it for $15. Well, like 21 shipping everything. So I made my profits, but some of these things go up even more past that stuff. I've sold stuff for $125, and then it's $400 later on. I'm like, I've given people stuff. Bait's another company. I gave a pin to my boy. It was $20 in my hand. As soon as I gave it to him, it was $200 or $400.
Yeah, now it's for
it's like thick, and that's a fig pin.
Ouch!
I just sold a fig pin for like $2 something, right? Yeah. I sold it and it was. I'm not into fig pins. I got one fig pin on here, and there's a Miles Morales because he looks dope, and another one of somebody else that came free in a box, and there's a mini fig pin of All Might.
Yeah, I've got a few of those. As a matter of fact,
Miles Morales is right here.
I got the this was in Target. The Batman.
Yeah, you're Batman. So how many Batman pops do you have?
I don't have a lot because, like I said, if I get stuck into that whole thing,
forget about it. You say that? You don't say that because people will find your address and send you free stuff.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, so maybe I should say that.
No, that's you'd be surprised. People have YouTube videos and people are sweet enough to just send you stuff. And it's like, what the hell? But I see that stack right there. Then you have a 10-inch on the side.
Yeah, so I got this. So we're doing a little show and tell here, right? This Batman first appearance.
Oh, I just gave that away. I just literally.
Yeah, I could. My
girlfriend has it.
But it's really, my favorite Batman is the first appearance Batman with the purple gloves and the weird cowl. For some reason, it's just fucking cool. This guy Pennywise, which. Damn, oh man, I should have gotten like the one with the spear in his head or something.
Well, that's more newer than anything, I think.
But this one's cool. I needed a Pennywise, but after part 2, I don't know. Part 2 was kind of like, Michael Jordan, of course.
Oh yeah, Jordan.
Yeah, couldn't pass that up.
I think my Michael Jordan's at my office. I got pops in my office. I got comics in my office. I got stuff. I got helmets. Like this right here is a helmet. And it's actually cool because it's Bluetooth. So I put it on. I bought it for like probably $50 or less on GameStop. So it's
that's cool.
Yeah, I was like, things little figure over here from somebody in Brooklyn. I bought.
You got another flan.
A flan be coming up everywhere. I got a Macho Man flan back there somewhere. I had another flan I think I gave away. Like you said,
never so hungry.
Showing up. Oh my God, the flock Energizer Bunny. It looked real good. I never bought it, but I was tempted.
I love that flocking on it. It's dope.
The last thing I really bought was the Zoltar from Big, and I took them out.
The Zoltar?
Yeah, from Big.
Yeah. And then this one's the giant.
Oh my God, yeah.
Baby Jack. I just had to, man. I was on this Baby Jack thing. It's just
my God,
character on that thing.
The new thing now is the child, the Mandalorian Baby Yoda. My girlfriend got the 10-inch. She got it for free. Thank you again, Joey.
You mean that?
Yeah.
Oh, I should get over there.
No, that's the not the plush. That's like the $60 one that has the realistic eyes. You can see.
No, it looks like it, but it's not. It's the plush.
Oh, this is the plush. Okay.
Yeah, this
another one that's more. It's more money, and it's like, oh.
Yeah, man. All right, you can break out. Okay.
The best thing about this, I love being a big kid. I even though I have like I show you my Kiras, those are still in boxes because I'm just sell something and keep the motorcycle. That's all I care for.
If you lose your childhood, man, you just like you just step into a trap of like nothingness. You know what I'm saying? You've got to keep that childhood sense to you. Of course.
Oh my God. I just gave away Goliath.
Papa, the
Bronx. I just gave away Goliath, and they go together. So I was like,
so the Bronx. Like, of course,
yeah, Bronx.
Got to rep the X.
Yeah.
Bartman.
Oh wow.
He's probably got. Or is that the newer one?
This might be the newer one because I'm not. What is it? 2. Yeah, I think it's the newer one. It got to be because I just got it recently.
Okay, yeah, because they re-release stuff. I got stuff back there. I got a rack in the next room.
So I buy stuff that I just connect with. Like a lot of the stuff that I grew up with, like Gargoyles and of course Bartman, and then It was just cool. I'm a Batman fan, so I'm not one of those that are like completists. Like I gotta have the whole thing.
Yeah.
I can't do that. Kurt Cobain, one of the greatest.
I got the one with glasses.
Yeah, this was so cool. This is the
that I'm keeping. I got the Kurt Cobain, and I think I got Jimi Hendrix. With the guitar.
Fire.
I do have. Oh man, I do have Muhammad Ali somewhere, but
okay.
I have them here. These are pops. I showed you these before, but they're not really. They're pops, but not pops. These Titanfall guys with the The little character. This one's missing.
I love the design of them. They were awesome. They were figures to me, but the little figures inside.
Yeah, I picked them up because
that's unique as hell. And you put another figure if you want it in there. It's awesome.
Yeah, the Titan 4 design is cool, so that's why I picked that up. What else? Oh, this one right here. It's just super.
He actually calls me that, and me and my girlfriend, he calls us Ewoks. Because we're short. I'm like 5'4". You know, it's like my girlfriend. She's like 5 feet. You know,
so he already has you over there.
Had to, man, and then I have a Godzilla too.
You know what?
Wait. Did you say Godzilla?
Oh no! Is the glow in the dark one?
Godzilla.
Oh man!
You're a Godzilla guy?
Yeah, I told you, Kaju. So there it goes.
Oh,
yeah, I thought that was Godzilla. That's the other one. What's the name?
This is the Oogie Boogie.
Oogie Boogie, yes.
Yeah. Oogie Boogie.
That's from what was that from?
Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's Nina's thing right there. Yeah.
This thing right here, I was disappointed. I thought the worms were gonna glow, so I took
it was something. The Addams Family.
Uncle Fester, the one I have.
Uncle Fester.
He has a light bulb, never glowed, never lighted up.
That's a miss right there when they do that. You know,
it was supposed to actually.
Yeah, it's just like
Crybaby a lot because he reminds me of a baby Godzilla.
Well, he is a guy. Yeah. So
right. I like him so much.
Baby Renzo.
Yeah, man. So yeah, those are some of my pops. I have more because I'm just in the office right now.
Yeah.
More at home, and it's not like I'm a super duper fan. Some people, they can build an apartment with it, like with walls of just
we have our CWO leaders of actually the Funko junkies. They have their walls just covered. Another one, Haha Collectibles. He has craziness. It's like amazed me how much they have, because when I look at what I have and I don't have storage, I go, oh my God, I need to get rid of some of this stuff, and I'm just getting rid of it. And I was like, I still got a lot. So I used to tell people, I have a 300. No, I have more than 300. I had, but
a lot of the times I think Funko Pop is sometimes the gateway drug to like designer stuff.
Oh, it definitely is. It's definitely
I've seen it happen.
It's the gateway drug to a lot of the other toys. If you notice, a lot, as well as us, we're at our age where we're remembering stuff. Everybody's going back to Hot Wheels right now. I'm not about them. I collect certain ones. He's been collecting them. I know, and our friends are part of CWO and other groups are going crazy collecting these things. I'm like, no. I'm more into figures and getting slowly into designing toys as well. But it's just like you said, you were drawing little baby Batman or whatever in your wall as a kid. I had a weird toy as a kid. It was weird. They make fun of me because it basically is a dog chew toy, but it's from 1978.
Right.
And if you look it up, one of them is going for $180 right now online. It's a designer. And you look at it, it's a line of them from 1978. I was able to buy it for $22 because this is a childhood toy.
Go get your chew toy.
Yeah, it's a dog chew toy because you squeeze it, makes the noise. But it's a vinyl, I guess. You know.
Yeah, it's all the same process. It's soft PVC, rotomolded. So it is kind of
I think someone's cheating on it, threw it away somewhere.
No, it's on. It's right there by the comics is at. Right there, over there.
How do you keep your beard so dark?
Me, but a lot of prayer. It's starting to come great, but it's a lot of prayer.
Yeah, man. Prayer. I think it's genetics, right? I mean, I think my family grows white pretty quickly. So like, damn, bro, like a year before it wasn't like this, but
like my mom, God rest her soul, since she was in high school and I seen pictures, she had that what they say in Puerto Rico, la marca, like the skunk marca, that one streak all the way down.
That's got bacula.
The widow thing. Oh, that's cool, man.
But I had it when I was little. I bit off the fingers, and my niece would make fun of me all the time. I had this as a kid. This is 1978, and I swear to you, if you go online, I forgot what they under, and it's like there's one guy selling for 180.
I got a Q-Pie. What year is this?
I've heard of Q-Pie.
Yeah, this is damn, there's no date on it. It probably it says 33. Nah. 63 or something.
I have an old Pink Panther as well too. I think it's like a 50s or 60s one. I think I got from April from her wedding. We went to a wedding, and this girl basically did it at a bowling alley. It was mad cool. She gave away stuff. She's like, just take it. She had comic books. She had pops. She had figures, and I was like, what the hell? Like
the Moon Cat. She's also an artist too.
Artist, and she loves going to the Brooklyn Con all the time. So she's her husband Derek. Derek's probably, you might know Derek actually, but you have to meet him in person. But it's just like, wow, these people are from Connecticut, right? Yeah. And it's like we know them for years.
Man, listen,
we met them through Geeky Peoples. Geeky Peoples had a party, and
Geeky, his name popped up a couple times.
Yeah,
Geeky Peoples, shout out to him.
Shout out to him always. I was like Anthony. I was like Anthony No Job. Tommy. we had a whole room saying you got no job.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, because he's one of those guys that he's traveling everywhere. He'll be in Thailand to go to a show. I'm like, how you do this? No, you don't got a job. I was like,
I've seen that. I was surprised because I met him at the Patches and Pins, same place I met Apple, and he was like, "Hey man, I'm this Funko guy, and we do this thing, and super energetic." And I'm like, "All right, man,
yeah.
All right, cool, man."
I get away from you. You're too happy.
He was like, "Yo, yeah, because I was like, Joe, let's take a picture, man." And he posed his picture, and he shows me.
Yeah, he did that.
He's like, "Come on, man,
he's at 100.
He's at 100. We have a common down."
I was like, all right, cool. And then the guy, then he breaks out. Then I see him at another convention and another convention. Like, yo, what's up, man?
Yeah, he knows everybody. So
yeah,
he knows people from Cali that come over. What was the guy's name? He was doing the gauntlet. Huh?
Oh, I forgot his name.
But yeah, it's just amazing how much people we could meet, especially through Geeky. He knows a lot of people from Cali. It's like try to show love everywhere because obviously from before we got into this whole thing, we were the typical New Yorkers. Keep our secrets to ourselves. Go shop where we need to shop. But when we got into the Funko community, it was like, yo, guys, come here. They got stuff here because New York is hard to find anything.
Right.
We don't live in down south where you could go to any, go to Piggly Wiggly and find yourself a Funko Pop or something like that. It's like, yo.
You remember the time when a few years ago, I think it got real crazy. I think it was the late 90s maybe, so it's not a few years ago, but where Toys R Us would open up and all the collectors were waiting out there in the cars.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I used to hate you, bro. I was like, I just want to get this damn toy and I got to come early in the morning.
Yeah.
That's the only.
No, we've done it too with Funko Pops, but it was like, and I was like, after a while, like even Target, and we were like, these sons of bitches are fucking workers are hiding them from themselves because I did it one time. I went somewhere at 6 in the freaking morning to a Target just to get a 10-inch Hulk, and find out they only had like 8 of them. So it was like 20 of us online.
Wow.
And from my boy Wins,
right.
Wins like a lot of people know him. He goes under Wins Kardashian, but it's Sergio. But he was like, he made sure he got over there with me, and then we got it. And I was like, yo, it was hard to find because everybody was getting it with the broken hammer. Yeah, and it was like, it was gone
with the broken hand.
That we introduced him to Pops.
He got addicted. He
bought less than a month. He had already 300 or 400.
Yeah, and good stuff. He had stuff that was like. Because Wins is a hustler, so he made sure he got his stuff. And he's like, I'm sick and tired of this. Now he's into, he's not into designers yet, but he's into statues, like big ass statues of Marvel and all that stuff. And I'm like, you got money on that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
So Yeah, those things go, but once they're released, their value goes up right from the gate. Those things, yeah.
Like wasn't it the Gem Man?
Yeah,
Gem Man. He's like, I'm better than him. I was like, no, you're not. I'm sorry, Gem Man got crazy stuff. I was like, it's just like you need a house for that. I was like, you can't be in an apartment with that stuff. I'm sorry.
Me, I'm a recovering 1/6 scale guy.
Oh man.
Man, I have so many detofs in my crib, and there's figures in there that I've accumulated that I can't fit into the detofs anymore. You know, the detofs, the case. For those that don't know, but oh my god, those were so awesome. But then I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm beginning to count them all, and I go, yo, did I just spend 10 G's on this? And it really goes up, man. It like really gets accumulated. But there's some I would never like sell. You know, it holds a place in your heart, and you do go a little nuts. You know, every now and then, like you said, when you go to a convention, you're like in this. Let's say it's a Funko mode, boom, and you'll find something that you really didn't want. It was just kind of there, and it looked cool at the time.
Yeah.
You bring it back, and you're like, damn, what did I do?
Like me, I have small statues, but no, I don't know if you should remember back in the days, Corgi,
Corgi. I remember the Corgi, the toy manufacturer.
Yeah, I have the marble statues. I have like maybe like 10 of them.
I remember that. Yeah.
And I got them right before Toys R Us was ready to close on 42nd Street.
Yeah.
I bought the last 10 that they had.
Wow.
Because it was something. Me growing up, like you probably, I had a lot of brothers and sisters. So since I was the oldest, I would be like, okay, since you're older, you go this way. Everything's gonna go this way. Everything's gonna go to the little ones. So I was the babysitter. I was the moms. I was the pops. I was everything. So my childhood was take care of the family. Then later on, when you have time or when we give you time, then you can go ahead and do.
I was a baby, so
me, everything that I see now, like I told my daughter, I told like it's funny because when me and Reggie go to a toy store, you see two kids with like the biggest eyes because everybody looks at us, everybody like, y'all guys is old. Like, why y'all so happy you being? Because at the end of the day, most of our childhood we didn't have it. We
couldn't afford it.
Yeah, we couldn't afford it.
It's like
So when we see stuff, we say, you know what? I remember that. Let's get this.
I feel you.
It was bad, but of course you can't afford everything. I've had when we talk about G.I. Joe having that 4 foot long,
that thing was 6 feet long.
Whatever it was just long.
And that joint
back to my house because my mom was like, "This is taking up space."
You don't have it home.
Mom's, we would have all our good shit still, like our comic books, our whatever figures that are worth so much more money now, but. Yeah.
That's the Great White Buffalo, bro. That one is like when you see it, it's because you got to keep that thing open for it to live. If you put it in a box, it's gonna get old and brittle and break. But yeah, I remember when I was working in Toys R Us, we were developing our own airplane because I worked with the toys with the True Heroes line, and we were developing an aircraft carrier, and it was like. It put that aircraft.
True Heroes killed me because they look. Most of that stuff is better than G.I. Joe. I was like, damn.
Yes. And it's cheaper, much cheaper.
Much cheaper.
You get and it had lights and sounds and.
You still have them in the because I still live over here off of White Plains Road where the Toys R Us used to be at the big one.
Right.
Have the what was it Kmart?
And then the Kmart,
Kmart there.
Kmart.
And I was going there. They still have that in there. I'm like, damn. I could get them, put some of my figures in it, but
yeah, man. Well, in Toys R Us, we did a lot of quality control, but now I think Target has them. Other retailers have them, so they're not really design driven. So now it's like the cheaper plastic, the cheaper paint,
electronics or whatever. Yeah,
it looks totally. You'll see like a dinosaur with a military vehicle. It's a little different. Yeah, man.
True.
Still better than little army men from back in the days. Okay, so
yeah, how are you guys getting along with like watching movies, like being excited? You know, in the summertime, or the movies come out. Movie theaters were my thing.
we go to a lot of previews, so we get to see movies before most people have haven't even seen it. We go sometimes to red carpets. We go to a lot of things. We haven't been to one in months, probably since maybe I missed out on one. I think did you go to A Quiet Place Part 2?
No, I was working.
I that was when I think Corona had just came out, and they wanted it to. I should have went to see it because it didn't matter anyway. But Quiet Place Part 2 came out, and it was for us to watch it for free. I didn't go, and the cast was there and everything. I just said, you know what? Let me stay home and relax. It was like a Sunday. I was like, I'm not gonna go down to 51st Street or whatever. I think it was in Columbus Circle area, Jazz Center.
Oh yeah.
But I was like, no. I was like, let me just relax and not go. And that was the last of it. But we used to get a lot of movies. Now I go, since I'm here a lot at my place, I get tired of this place. Once like today comes, I run to my girlfriend's house, and we make our Netflix nights because Netflix right now is killing it. Yeah. I'm sorry, and I'm a pirate too. I know how to get my pirated movies too, but
all right,
killing it hard right now.
Well, their stuff is just as good as like that. The Irishman to me was a good movie. It was
3 hours long. Yeah,
yeah. I think that was planned. Yeah, with De Niro and they had him with Young with the computer graphics.
Yeah.
That was a good one. There are some. I think Amazon and Hulu stepped it up though. Like
definitely, yeah.
Hulu's horror movies are pretty good. Like I'm a big horror movie guy. You can see from my dark storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I love horror movies, and I think it comes with the territory too because it's that fantasy thing. But Hulu stepped it up. I've got a subscription with Shudder, and this shit is kind of.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, like I see it once in a blue moon, but I'd be like, yeah, like.
Big shout out to Keith, Lord Roscoe. Thank you for watching.
Love the Gargoyles. Yeah, Gargoyles was the shit.
Hey, if you ever have a chance, I have a hard drive, and I have all the 80s and 90s cartoons on it. I got a tower. So if you're ever interested in
a bunch of porn, but that's the real.
Or going back.
The Vanessa, whoa.
You got some bush in that one.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, listen, seriously, I'll take you up on that offer, man. It's I'm always down to watch some 80s, 90s cartoons. Disney has Gargoyles, like if you stream the Disney stuff.
I have the Disney Plus. I just went on it just to watch Hamilton because everybody's telling me, "Oh my god, you got to watch Hamilton." I loved it. It's long.
Yo, listen, I was the toughest. I'm one of those that don't like the stuff that everybody jumps on.
Yeah.
Right. And I was working in the office, and everybody, oh my god, Hamilton is so great. Whoa. Yeah. Right. And I was like, whatever.
Yeah. Stop your bullshitting.
Yeah, jumping on the bandwagon. And yo, I gotta say, I saw it 2 weeks ago, and I saw it so I was surprised. My kids were like, "We want to see that, Dad. We heard about it." Awesome. I'm like, all right, so let's watch it. We watched it, and I'm thinking that we're gonna turn it off and 5 minutes in. I didn't think they were gonna get it.
Yeah.
Yo, the whole family, and this never happens, bro.
But it's because everybody's talented as hell in that show.
But the whole family stood to watch one movie. Like, that never happens. I've got young ones, too. If it's not like, Winky Dinky Donkey,
Yeah. A movie that they watch 100 times in a day.
But they loved it. They loved the king, when he comes out.
Oh, I love the king. He spits. Everybody thought that was because he's mad. It's not. It's the guy himself is a spitter.
Right.
But because he's playing the king that is mad. He's a little psycho. He's mental something. He is. Back then they were saying he is a spitter, but it was just went together. The guy is a spitter. I love YouTube because I went on YouTube afterwards. The Morena that's in it, she's from a show on Netflix.
Oh, she was so good too, man.
Her singing was awesome. I was like, oh my god, she's
beautiful too.
I forgot the one I went to see season 2 with. Again, I saw it with Geeky and Raul and all these other people. And it starred. Wait, didn't it star one of these guys like over here? I think it starred.
Carbon?
Carbon. Oh, just lost the poster. Yeah. Carbon, whatever it was.
The set is falling.
Yeah, I was like, that was a signed poster too. That
The set is really cardboard. It's like.
Yeah, but Carbon something, I forgot the Carbon something is it was season 2 but she's in both seasons. I was amazed by her. There was a guy with dreads. He played 2 different roles. When he let it out, he has a movie he did with this Blanquito, and it was pretty good. I think something spotting, and it was I think from 2 years ago. I could have went to see it for free.
Train spotting.
Train spotting, yeah.
Okay, and you know the guy that the main he becomes a villain at the end, right?
His boy that shoots him, yeah.
Yeah, he's the lead role in a new Netflix movie where his girl has a virus and he's trying to save her. It's actually a pretty good movie.
Yeah. He played a great role. I didn't even know who the hell that was, and then I found out. I was like, oh, okay. I had his name. The funny thing is, I've been playing this album for 2 years. I made him listen to Immigrants a long time ago, and let him watch the video, the hip hop video with all these people.
Yeah.
And I said all that stuff. I was like, and he was like, yo, that was tight. Now it's coming back, and then they even have a Marvel hip hop cover that has Hamilton. Yeah. I think it's Hero Chavez or whatever her name is, and that. Price is hard.
It doesn't hurt that the playwright is Boricua too. You know.
I never watched In the Heights. I heard that was great too.
Yeah, and actually, one of the guys, he played the bad guy in I think Venom. He played the bad guy.
Oh no, that was the guy from. But he wasn't in the show. He was a rapper. His Riz Ali or something.
He's an activist.
He's a great actor. He did a HBO special where they try to say he killed some woman. It was like a weird special. Yeah. He was a great actor. I think he was in Star Wars. He was in a lot of things, but he's a rapper. Riz MC, I think is called his name, from like Europe or England. He has that proper rapping voice, like that rap, and he sounds dope. I was like, but. He's in that one, the Immigrants Get the Job Done, or whatever it's called. But I was like over here listening to because I saw it. My girlfriend was here, I think yesterday, and we were just listening to the album just from the Hamilton show. Then we listened to the hip hop stuff. But I was like, yo, that's awesome. I was like, especially that King, his like everything, like he's like,
yo, the whole cast was dope. Like his wife, like you said, the dark-skinned girl with the sister, they were all great, man. Like every
only the one girl.
George Washington. How good was George Washington?
Oh yeah,
that dude was like, he was the shit, man. And so anyway, I was so surprised, man. And that I jumped. Same thing happened with Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones was mad popular for kids. I jumped in like 2 seasons in, and my he was my boss at the time. Yeah, he's my homie now. He was like, "Yo, you gotta try it out, man. You into dragons and all that stuff?" Because I had the dragon license for some toy company, and he was like, "Check that out. You get inspired."
Oh wow, yeah.
And at first, I was like, "Yo, there's tetas and butter,
penises." Oh no,
it's like a dingling, dangling. Yeah. I'm like, "What the fuck am I watching, bro?" But I gave it like 2-3 episodes, and bam, I was hooked.
Yeah, me too. Everybody here was crazy about it. We went to a bar downtown to watch, I think, the first episode back for the last season. And it was like, we were going crazy. It was like, oh. And then that last episode was like, what the? But
what do you think of it?
Yeah. But there's so much good stuff out there. Like, people tell me what to watch. It's like, gotta watch that. Gotta watch that. I just finally finished Ozark. I love it. But I'm not going to tell you go watch it because I don't know what you're into. Dexter was one of my things I used to love back in the days.
Yeah,
that was something I jumped on late, and like I swear to God, I watched that show, and I swear to God, he was gonna get killed or caught out there, and that lasted for what 4 seasons or something like that. That was an awesome show.
Breaking Bad was really big, but I didn't really get into it. I was like,
I got into it afterwards.
Yeah, I didn't like the ending. It was a little like, come on.
Sons of Anarchy was cool. There's so much things out there to keep your.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you're into horror, go on YouTube and put horror on Netflix or whatever, and they'll give you a list of stuff. There's some stuff that's so bad you don't want to watch because I've heard of like Teeth. I've heard of all these other movies. It's like,
oh, Teeth was good. Yeah, that's
Meat. I think it's called Meat. I think it's like that. Where the
I've seen that too.
And then starts biting her fingers and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love all that shit. My bad. like all that weird
Human Centipede. That's crazy when they made 3, and 3 was like a movie about the movie. Yeah. It was like, what the hell? I was like, but there's certain things out there. It's just amazing. And even Comic-Con, it's weird how you meet people trying to make their own movies. And we've met people giving out cards. What was it? Shutter, I think it was called. It had like that channel that'd be having all the crazy movies on it.
Yeah.
That's a good thing too.
Shutter selection to me is a little thin though now. They did the was it Tales from the Crypt or the other one? You had some series, but it ended in 6 episodes in, and I was disappointed. Shutter's all right, you know. There's a lot of foreign movies that'll surprise you there. But like I think Hulu and Amazon pretty good to get those. I also like weird, funky movies like what's the movie with the kid with the glove? He got like a power glove and Kid Turbo. Yeah, it was Turbo.
Oh my God, I did watch that one. There was the Turbo, and then also the bike.
Yes, I love that stuff, like the 80s kind of weird stuff, like Kung Fury. You know,
Kung Fury with the big Thor-looking guy. It was an old man.
Yeah. Hobo.
The guy comes out of nowhere with a stupid computer, and he and I'm like, what the hell?
I love that crazy stuff where things are not supposed to make sense.
Yes, makes sense at all.
Like Hobo with a shot.
Stupid B movies. That's what we used to love back in the days.
You go to Tubi?
You saw who?
Tubi.
Oh, Tubi. Yeah, we got Tubi. Yeah.
Yeah, those are where you can find like Kung Fu and all the other
stuff. But also they have also those things that you help them grow. They're usually always on those things too.
Yeah. Did you watch Hobo with a Shotgun?
I think, I did.
Rutger Howard, awesome. He just died last year, I think, right?
Yeah.
He was the blind swordsman. Yeah,
come on, everybody knows that one. He cut the guy in half. Come on, it was awesome.
Yeah.
But the Hobo with a Shotgun, I remember getting that. There was something else I had got into and I paid for, but it had
the sun is coming, and you see that? It's like coming into
that's the last of it because it's about to just go down. That's why.
Yeah, no, I think it's reflecting off some building over here.
It's about to be 7 then.
Yeah, it wasn't even paying attention. I was like, oh man, but it's craziness about all that stuff, and it's funny how we did this only for 2 hours. I was like, we do half an hour.
Really, wow.
Awesome. And I know, like we mentioned, Play for Gorilla is gonna be on like probably tonight at 9. We have a couple other people that's probably going to be doing some live streaming as well. But you talking about horror. Are you going to ever do a horror kind of figure?
Yeah. Demonio is kind of a horror thing. He's like that urban legend. And actually, Demonio was created before all of them. So Demonio, the story about the kid being in the
walls.
In the abandoned building was gonna from there that was a horror story like that was gonna be like the thing. It was a story I was working on called Divine Descent.
Okay.
But now you go on Google and Divine Descent is a ton of stuff, so I would change the name now.
Of course.
But there was a time where it was super dark, and that's why some of that dark stuff I brought into the Food Stamp stuff because it just made sense. But yes, it was Demonio's story was supposed to be like a horror type of thing.
Okay.
So I've got then I did the story, and I'm telling you, like hundreds and hundreds of pages, you know, I would lock myself in a room, pitch black, with just the monitor and like some music. Of course, I gotta listen. You know, my music taste ranges from everything. You know, it's what gets me going, and I'll put some hardcore shit.
Yeah,
and I just boom, just spit it out. And it was some really dark stuff. I also had a story of an angel falling in someone's backyard, and then that was another kind of horror type of thing. But those things are not released, you know, because the food stamp stuff connected with that whole urban vinyl designer toy feel, and it had more legs. You know, it's resonated with people a little more than, and it kind of keeps it real. It's not like fantasy, you know.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I see. And I noticed right now everybody jumped on the whole, you know, we're doing the whole COVID and everybody's wearing masks. I think even our people's made a mask for us. Yeah. So I've seen a lot of people out there doing masks. Are you having like any special designer masks? I saw Quick Swift one. I was like, what the hell? Like that was like,
yeah, he has some elaborate. I don't think that's more like, that might be more of like a cosplay, but then he does have like his, all the artists are doing it. I didn't want to do that. I don't know.
No, I know. It doesn't have to be you. I'm just saying. Are you even buying any of them at all? Like I got him a Transformer one by Ink One, I think. Ink One did some nice ones. My nephew, I got him like a Miles Morales. Just talented people out there.
No, I think the mask thing is going to be here for a while, and I think that it is more of a fashion statement now, and it's just something you got to just get along with. So I would love to. I haven't seen it. Like my wife gets me like these simple black masks with the little vents.
Okay.
You have like a really elaborate one.
I've seen some elaborate ones. Yeah.
This one is crazy. It has these vents that are magnetic and they pop out, and there's a fan inside of it. And it's totally like it's for polluted air. It's like really legit. Yeah. But it's real modern and small too. It's not like one of those big, excuse me, like those master graffiti artists where it's more subtle, but it's like super technology. You charge it, fan goes on. The filters are removable, all types of.
Yeah, because everybody's always scared about breathing your own like breath in there. I know, like your mouth gets a little funky. I try to put some mints and stuff like that. It was like, you know.
I gotta tell you, the plastic ones feel more comfortable. That elaborate one, I take that shit everywhere with me because it loops around my neck, and I'll just and put it on instead of like going through the loops and. Sometimes, I don't eat the most the nicest stuff. The fabric thing kind of bothers me because I smell my own breath. I'm like, my God.
Yeah, no, trust me, I understand that 100%. And I was like, what the hell? Like back in the days of wearing the ski mask, like the old school stuff, everything, or at least the half mask. And now actually having to really wear this stuff constantly is like, what the hell? Like I have disposables. I have a box of 50. That's what I wear on a daily basis.
Yeah.
So I'm just throwing them away when I get home or whatever. I do have some cloth ones. Like I said, we got in our store we have some for sale, but I haven't tried them out yet. I'm gonna probably have to go and buy one and show it off and advertise it myself as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, you're going the good route. You got your own stuff. You're shipping it from yourself. We're using Teespring, I think.
Yeah, Teespring.
Teespring over there. But it's just because at first the person that was doing it is, it was a one-person job doing it at home, and it's a lot of work when we were doing it as a giveaway, and a couple of people paid for it at one show. Actually, at a casino night, right?
Yeah, casino.
We made some good money on that one. Sold out on the shirts. That's where Jersey Funko George bought one, had to sign it. And I was like, that was pretty cool. We've been getting some good vibes off of that. I just love the community. Like I said, it's like you show off something and people give you positive, feedback on other stuff. Like we showed a design that someone made for us, and to us is old, But once we showed it again, like I showed it with a comic book, people were like, "Oh my god, what is that?" Sign it for us. I was like, "That's like a homage to Flash and Superman and that's cover." And I'm like, "Okay," so it's like whatever.
You know, I always loved your logo, the Super Mario 3 logo.
That's Martin. Actually, that's somebody we're gonna have to talk about. But Martin, Martin Yates, he made it for us. He's from Cali. And this guy's talented. He made us. He even made the one right here at us as Funko Pops.
Yeah.
And
cool.
Yeah, he made us as Funko Pops, and I was happy about that one. He's like,
you're that tall, bro. That's how you're really tall.
I'm short.
He's short. I'm tall.
So
I see the Funko Pop. I see the tall guy.
They had us the same size. I was like, sir, I'm short and fat. I'm a little fatter and shorter. I'm straight. I'm like, you're gonna meet me in. Actually, I do meet people in public a lot, and I'm like, don't be scared to come up to me, say hi to me. I was like, it's just I don't know you, so hit me up and say, hey, I'm so and so. Don't be scared at all.
I'm like about 6 feet, so
yeah.
Okay.
So, to anybody.
So you're like Yao Ming in Latino, right? we are a little short sometimes. You know, I'm 5'8".
Just like Twix, he's kind of tall for a Filipino.
Yeah, when I met him, I was a little shocked. I was like, this dude is taller than me. You know?
And I know Filipinos is taller than me, but usually when you see them, they're as short as me, if not shorter. So I got some in my family, but it's like crazy. But yeah, it's crazy. So just talking. I love how this time went by like quickly. It was like amazing.
Yeah, and I like talking to you guys. I don't like hearing myself talk, but I appreciate you guys doing the back and forth for me and talking with me too.
Oh no!
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah, definitely. I was like, you see how much I was like, thank you so much for coming on. I'm not gonna ever like let the person just, I understand that. We've had people on our show that go, can we come back? We had Blake, scared to come on our show. It's like, yeah, we do. Not alive, but at the studio. He's scared to come on. He's like, oh, what about this? What is this? I was like, just come along and we'll have fun.
Right.
And I was like, when can I come back? When can I come back? I was like,
and hey, man, I'm open to it. Whenever you guys want me back,
and Rios, look, actually, I did my notes.
I told him to do his homework. He did his homework. Right. So when he mentioned the whole thing about the closet, I was like, look, like, what the hell? I thought I knew enough. I was like, what?
That's love, and I appreciate that. Because
he came out as definitely. I was like, when I got those comics, I was like, is this fake that we're interviewing him and I got this on time? Like, not even on time, early. I was like, what? Because I ordered comic books on a regular. I just picked up your stuff came together with some other comics I got today, with some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 101, and I was like, what is this? I was like, I saw Rios designs, toy designs. I was like, what? I was like, okay.
Well, sometimes I hate that. So I've got to ship, and those people that are waiting for my stuff, sometimes I apologize. It's just a few days where I can just ship. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, it's you doing it. It's hard. It's going to the not supermarket, going to the post office. Those lines are ridiculous in the post office.
That's true, and a lot of people think that you know that since you're a designer that you have people
to do it for you.
To do it for you. No, most of it's the artist taking their time between lunch or doing something with the family to stop.
And this is COVID season. Right now, there's been stuff mailed and you don't get it for 2 weeks later. So it's amazing to get stuff fast like that. And I was like, it's a bit better, but I was like, Amazon's even getting better. Amazon, the person that we expected stuff the next day, 2 days, they were taking a week or more. And I'm like, what happened with that? And
I got a horror story. I bought this off of Amazon. I got, when the whole COVID thing hit and everybody got shut down and you couldn't toilet tissue. It was like the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Ordered this like months ago. The shit just came in recently, bro. And I bought this from like some factory in China. They got me. They hit me over the head with this because it's water. It's water with like some solution. The shit, there's not alcohol in there. There's nothing. Wow. They got me, man. So I had to hit them up and tell them, bro. And they were pushing them back on me like, like, oh, the order time is too far along. I was like, because everything shut down, and
Yeah.
Yeah.
we didn't import anything.
And then you getting it from China. You know how many people don't want to touch that right there.
No.
So I was like, all that Wish stuff, Wish app, and all this other stuff. He works at a hospital, so you know he's been working this whole time while I've been working at home. So I work in North White Plains, you know, New York.
Okay.
And that's another good shout out because we used to go to the convention up there in White Plains.
Yeah.
Undiscovered Realms. I was like, it's funny because we went up there and we ended up finding somebody from the Bronx that does comic book stuff over here. I was like, what?
Oh, yeah, the
lair.
Yeah.
Amazing. Like we had to go to out of the Bronx to find somebody from the Bronx. So I was like,
it's crazy. We're sprinkled everywhere. I've been in the profession for a while, and it's undercover Bronx people, like in the toy world too. Like, yeah, I'm from the Bronx. I'm like, say that shit with pride, boy.
Yeah.
Like, what's good with you, man? And they just, yeah, I'm from the Bronx. It's like the stigma behind it, but it's that shit builds me. You know, I love it, man. You know,
yeah, I say with pride, and I was like, and what I also love is that you guys actually have stories behind everything. So like, it's not just like, oh, I made it because I liked it. You know, there's a story behind every figure. Who I need to really get in here is Red Guardian. He gave me like a story behind his stuff, and I was like, wow, like, and this is behind, like, I was in no camera around.
Right.
Family was working hard at Brooklyn Con. I was like, his son was
hustling.
They were hustling, the whole family. Son selling Funko Pops, selling Jankies. I think it's like that, Super Jankies, all the classic stuff. That's another thing that blew up. Those Jankies. Even he bought a couple of those. I'm not really crazy about them, but hey, everybody's got their thing.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll be down with it. I think he's been more visible. I even think he's been saying it lately. He's going to be more visible and do stuff like this a little more.
Yeah, I need to hit him up. He does a lot of lives, but that's on himself drawing something. I was like, painting. Like, I've seen him on Facebook more than I've seen him on IG, but it's just to actually finally talk to him, which I was happy to do in Brooklyn Con. I was like, okay, cool. Got to see him in person, and it's like, yeah, I know you. I was like, okay, cool. Like,
that was awesome, especially the collab that he did with Quicks.
Yeah,
if
you got to see that.
Yeah. We've got a collab too. We did the Warriors, the Warriors version of Bodega Blade.
Okay.
We've got that. We have that. And he's pretty. You know, I like he's a little rough around the edges, like I am, and I like that. So I wanted something, because I don't collab with too many people. Like, I've collabed with Cash, I've collabed with him. I collab with people who kind of represent, what I'm looking for. I can't.
Tenacious Toys, right?
Was that?
Tenacious Toys.
Tenacious Toys. Shout out to Benny. Beautiful people. Good dude, man. He's an artist kind of guy. He picks up your stuff. He sells it. He pushes it harder than even the artist sometimes.
I've heard that too. I've heard who's it? Gorilla pretty much saying that too. Yeah, it's like,
no, he's a great dude. Man. When I first went in, I bumped into him accidentally. I was like, not first time, but I was learning the whole IG thing, and like, how do I DM everybody and just tell them, yo, check this out. So I send him. I put my stuff in the store in Manhattan, and I wanted everybody to know. So I threw out a big DM out, and he was like, "Dude, why are you sending me a DM on a competitor?" I was like, "Oh my God, I didn't know that was you," and whatever. So we met that way. He was like, "Yo, but I love it. I'll pick it up." I was like, "Oh, word, all right." And so, because I kind of fucked up in the beginning, I gave him the Dead Presidents version, which is like the so and ever since I try to give him like the special ones. Like, he has the Exorcist version of Demonio, which
that one,
yeah. So he has that one. He has the Dead Presidents version, and the Black Lives Screwface. I'm still figuring out who's gonna get what, but look for something special, with everyone else. I don't know how I'm gonna cut it up, but it'll be something nice.
Yeah, it's definitely cool. I was checking that out. I was like, and when is the master coming out? I see that obviously you already have the
Yeah,
mold and everything.
the master is
Sensei, sorry.
Sensei is about 2 to 3 months. He'll be
Okay.
he'll be out soon. It all depends on, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we don't shut down on transporting or nothing crazy happens because
Because
this whole
Florida's
thing.
gonna get hard, and Florida is another spot that
Yeah,
stuff
this
comes
whole
from.
I have my one of my main clients in Florida, and I won't jump on a plane. I'm like, nope,
Nope.
nope. But there is because this thing is global, and Hong Kong is very political. Well, it's so political that I could get in trouble even like talking about it. It's just crazy. But you never know when they'll be like, we're not sending stuff to the
Yeah.
U.S.
Yeah.
and I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. So hopefully, the sensei, I just got like my first shot yesterday, and the thing is cool, man. This one is gonna be like, this one is one of those that it's like, oh man, I need it. Even if you don't want to grab it.
Yeah.
And then the same thing with the black screw face. It's gonna be. I expect a lot of people to want that one. So it's something where I'm hearing the people, and then I react to it. Before I didn't have any people to react to, and I didn't have anything to gauge. The hunger for these things, but now I could read it, and now I just execute based on what people want.
What is the run you normally have when you make these guys?
About 150 pieces. I'm going to start bringing it up to 200-300 because it's growing a little bit. So I try to keep it manageable, but keep it still rare so that people
Are
still.
you hearing anybody like, oh, I didn't get one? All these bots are buying them or anything like that? No.
Not the bot stuff yet. That I haven't gotten like huge bot. Everything goes through me. I have.
Okay.
Yeah, I have had a few weird orders that I'm like, bro, this is this. I've had people like show their IDs to me and online. I'm like, this seems kind of phony, bro. Show me who you are and this and that. And luckily they do. They show me, and I'm like, all right, you legit, you cool. So, but no, I haven't dealt with that yet.
Man, because I know it's like we already mentioned quicks, and you see how quick a figure comes out, it's gone, and then you go to eBay and they're selling it for double the amount, or
Yeah.
who knows.
Yeah.
Our collab is gonna change the game.
Okay. Yeah, because I love that one that he did that was Doctor Doom. I don't know. My thing is the whole Doctor Doom is hot, and then you got the rapper out there too. So it's like in my
Well,
head.
the thing is, that was Sket One's design. Well, Sket One's cutaway on Quick's design. Which Sket, shout out to Sket One. Love that guy. Really, really one of the architects of this whole designer toy field.
Okay, I gotta look that
Yeah,
up.
yeah, look that up. Sket One. He's and I talk to him, and he gives me great advice all the time. Really legit, authentic, super talent. There's nothing I can like say bad about.
I wonder if is he down with Martian Toys too?
He's the one that does the have you guys seen the elephant, the elephant
Yes,
that's
I just saw it. It's new today.
Mm-hmm.
today
Yeah.
that's his, sold out right away.
Ready?
Yeah, that's sold out.
America Elephant or something like that. I forgot it was called.
Yeah, the Americana elephant.
Yeah.
That one's sold out. He does a lot of like these the dunnies with the corona ears, and those things go for like a nice chunk of change, man.
Oh wow!
So he's beautiful people, great dude, from the New York area. So I got a lot of love for him, and everyone you mentioned too. I got.
It's a small community. It's kind of sounds small, but it's so big, and it's just once you guys see each other. That's another thing I love, because when I gone to these cons, sometimes I just see you guys go, okay, I'm gonna go and explore myself and let me talk to other people too. So it's like obviously you have somebody else manning your booth or whatever. And I was like, it's just amazing to see people just show love and go around and not like, I've been to 5 Points. I'm not gonna say nothing bad about these people, but they got these people that are toy designers or not toy designers from like Japan, right?
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking
and
about.
they sell for so much money. Like people buy them and they flip them for like buy it for $100 and flip them for $1,000 online. And they, to me, they look like like I don't know, like they look like fake Iron Man. I'm like, why would I? They look like him, pretty much, just like more.
That's the Sofubi.
The
Sofubi kaiju stuff with
the kaiju stuff. I've seen. I respect some of that stuff too. I enjoy them, and I've seen some craziness on them. I like the resins more than anything, to be honest with you. Especially when you do.
I like the resins. The resins are like it's limitless what you can do with them because with roto molded you have to have you got to simplify the design so that the plastic can. It's all technical stuff, but when you get it put out, it's more like a squeezing duck toy. That's like
basically, yeah. Some of them simple plastic. I've seen them. People go crazy for it. It's not for me, but it's just like what the, and there's lotteries for this stuff. It's like it kills.
No, it's huge. There's a name for it. It's I can't remember the name. But there's also Keshi, which are like little rubber eraser guys.
Yeah.
Go for money too. There's like the Sofubi stuff that you're talking about that has these weird automotive paint jobs. They're like silvery and they look like gross monsters and they sell like crazy. Then you have you got the big stuff like James Groman's Gorilla and T-Rex and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which is crazy. And he designed My Pet Monster back in the day.
Yes, and they try to bring it back out. I know that every time I see it, keep on seeing My Pet Monster every time.
Yeah. When you see his designs, you know who he is. You see it, you're like, oh, that's James Groman.
What kills me is there's one that's what's a Nugget that does all this stuff like based on nuggets, like weed nuggets.
Right.
And I was cracking up every time I see that, and they like very intricate with their stuff. I was like, wow.
Yeah. And then you got the bootlegging, the bootleg stuff that looks like bootlegs, but they're artwork because they have some kind of message behind it, and they're trying to look like bootleg, and they're just like really nice in their own in their own lane. You know what I mean? And you got who's Sucklord, and you got a bunch of other guys, and then you have like Quicks, which is like your vinyl guys, but they're these characters, and I guess I fit somewhere in there somewhere. So I'm just happy to be there.
I think I got somebody else over here coming through here. Let me see.
I fit somewhere in there somewhere. So,
He didn't think I was gonna put him on here.
Who's this guy? Who's this guy?
That's Keith. What's up, Keith? You
What's that?
I'm supposed to be behind the scenes.
Yeah. There you are. I want to put you on there to see how you're doing. He came on real quick. But that's Keith. He's another big supporter of ours, as it is.
What's up, Keith?
I was like, so
you
can't hear him? Okay, there we go.
Hey, great interview. I love your stuff.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, he's actually Puerto Rican. Don't let the Amish beard get you.
Yeah, I'm there with you, man. I'm there.
Yeah, everybody got a beard except for me. I got the cheap crap.
Amish Irish beard.
Everybody's all polished. Well, I was like, talk about a guy that he's into figures. That guy's right there. He's a big Batman person too.
Oh, Batman! Come on.
He has signed Batman all over his house.
Awesome. You can't go wrong with that. Batman's like the total badass. He's that dark character,
He has no superpowers, but yet they say he does. But
well, he's creepy as shit. I mean, some guy that's tormented and just wants to beat the shit out of bad guys with little ears and a cape in the dark. That's
everything above him is all Batman stuff. He's got everything signed, everything. Kevin Conroy, there you go.
That is awesome. Is that the voice actor that signed that? Oh, great.
That's my first time pop was from him. I bought it off of him at a People's event.
Yep.
And it was Kevin Conroy, Batman. I was like, so this is why I said another person that got me more into it than anything. It's just craziness with that. I was like, it's an addiction. He has probably well over everybody we know, too.
He got me my first signed pop as well. And then from there on,
he's the drug dealer.
Then from there on, everything I get is signed now.
So yeah, he's the triple.
Yeah, I'm the pusher.
He is the big pusher on that stuff. But yeah, we had Keith, we've been on here for more than 2 hours. It's ridiculous, like how like the time flies by. It doesn't even feel like 2 hours. It doesn't even feel like an hour. And it's just we went over everything from horror to the backstories on food stamps, everything. He pretty much Rio does all his stuff. I just got his comic books today, and I bought them yesterday. Was it or 2 days ago?
The day before. Maybe.
Yeah, the day before, and he's shipping everything out from his own place. He's cutting out the middleman, like we said. Like, obviously, you said get bigger is different, but it's just amazing. It's like, and we're talking about the next figure coming out another 3 months. You said?
Yeah, close. As soon as I get it, that's when I'll send it out.
Yeah. What about the Black Lives Matter? Is that something you're doing now?
That's something that I'm trying to rush that out. Like that's I got to get that out. But I think the Sensei and him might come out. Black Lives Matter might come out like a week later, but they're right there in development stage.
Yeah, I want to show that one off right now. If I can get him on here.
You got
get him on here. The other part. Sorry, I'm like I forget what I have to do here. Let me add this one. Stop one. Add share screen. It's all about still learning the stuff here. I want to go straight to your IG, Rios.
Okay.
So just show off that Black Lives Matter. Thank you again for posting this too. Yeah, coming soon. There we go, right there. We got
coming soon. You get a little snippet right there of what it's gonna look like from the back.
Definitely.
It's Screwface, as you know him, with his sandals and shorts, and this time he's fighting a fight that's worthy of the cause. So that's what's happening. And here you kind of see him in the very small. You can see he's got his iconic little scarf and his do-rag on.
Yeah.
He's there.
That's a video, right?
Yeah, that's a video.
Is that music or?
No, he's just spinning. You just see it.
Oh, okay, dope. Martin Yates just made us into the guy that made us into Mario characters gave us a little video and is us like walking around like a video game. I was like laughing. And he just sent it to us earlier, and I was cracking up. I need to post that up. That's a beautiful thing right there.
Yeah, this is Sensei getting done.
Yeah, but just to seeing your name right there, Rios Toy Design. So I was like, oh man.
Yeah.
So talking about your name, Rios Palante is your real name. It's not like
Rios is my real last name.
I had a feeling. I was like, because I thought I did see the E somewhere.
Yes, my real name is Enrique Rios.
Oh, okay, Enrique. Okay,
that's my real name. But Rios is my last name.
Okay.
And my family's very proud of their last name. And but Palante is you guys know in the 70s there was a big movement. It was the Young Lords movement. It was attached.
Oh yeah, okay.
It was attached with the Black Panther Party and that
movement. I love how you actually have the Pantones here. This is the first time I saw the Pantones. I wasn't even mentioning it before. I just saw this here and I'm like cracking up with the colors over here.
Yes, Palante is just this phrase that Puerto Ricans were saying to move forward, to rise
That's
above.
what I thought it was.
See,
Yeah.
and it's funny because I have it on my notes. I was just about to ask you that too. I got it on my notes.
And he's writing notes I didn't see, so I was like, and
Right.
I mentioned, I was like, wait, that's not, is that? It's like Palante. I was like, because when you hear it, it's like, oh, move forward. I was like,
Yeah, Rios is my last name. Palante is my designer kind of, message to keep rising above, keep doing your thing, keep moving
that's
forward.
beautiful right there.
It is what it's always been. There'll be pins of this. There'll be pins, shirts, and now a figure. So
Yeah.
yeah, so there's Screwface.
And I remember, and then like with your figures, the swords come out and everything. That was one cool thing. I always saw that. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, it was cool for Demonio, but what happens is that with resin, you got to be careful with the small parts. They can get very delicate and fragile.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted Screwface to be more solid, similar to Bodega Blade. Even though Bodega Blade has a sword and it fits in his hand, he's structured differently, so he's more solid. Same thing as Screwface. The thing with Demonio is that he's a deluxe figure. I wanted him to have. He has an interchangeable head. You can swap out the mouth you see here with his gold fronts. You can swap that out with a demon mask, and then you can store the sword in his backpack. But I don't recommend you forcing the sword in the backpack because.
Oh no. Yeah, there goes. Let's talk about Comic Trap House. Yeah, that was when you were on there, and I was like, wow, God. When I saw that artwork they did, I was like, what the hell? I was like,
thank you. Yeah, so some of them, and you see some of the lives that I had with the black and white stuff on Saturdays, and I was just kind of having fun, and also giving to a good cause. But like I said, with time, I can donate in other ways, so I'm choosing to do that. Yeah.
I was like I said, it's an amazing thing. It's like just seeing what your stuff here, the baby Renzo. I was like, what is this figure? Right? It's not one of yours. This is someone putting out.
Yeah, someone that I'm bigging up. Right, he's an industrial designer, and he's building and experimenting with these articulated 3D.
It reminded me of like a cassette tape, like for Soundwave.
Yeah, right. Reminds me of those the watches, right? The Transformers.
Oh my god, yeah! I remember they still have them.
Yeah, I was talking to a homie about that the other day. I said, "Damn, they got to release that again." And yeah, right on the right side, that's an original wall kind of painting. I did it so it can look.
Oh, this is the fig pin boxes you use too. That's awesome.
That's the guy. That's the guy I was talking to you about. That he used the fig pin boxes, and they fit great. So.
Have you ever done the water tower ones? I've seen people do those art on it, the graffiti arts on the water towers. Or
no, I would love to. Every time I try to buy one, it's sold out.
What was the other one? I think the newest one was the
like the mailbox.
Oh no! I think the newest one was like the trash thing. Everybody's doing graffiti on, but people are just doing it as like a trash fire or whatever. But then our boy bought the New York City train, and he said he's gonna start doing graffiti on that one.
Graffiti,
Freddie, I was like, but it's like, I was like, good luck on that one because that's the new trains. That's not the old ones. They can.
Oh, they just buff it like nothing now.
I know. It's like. I'm just happy they're cleaning up more than anything because I'm now actually getting back on the trains, and sooner or later I'm going to have to go back to work. I think another 2 months. But it's just, I was like, oh my god, it's actually pretty cool. Yeah.
So the Sensei, I'm really psyched about the Sensei. He's coming out really finally. So the stalling was because he kept falling over. With his wine jug,
Oh, that's why the finger is there, so it can hold it.
Yeah. So you can
remember you talking about that.
That's right. You can
pose the drunken master almost. I love the little blood right at the very end.
Yeah, well, he's so badass. He doesn't have to move. He lets his braid do the bashing. You know.
It's like a fist there, right? It looks like almost a gauntlet.
Yeah, it's a little fist. It's like a mat. It's like a what do you call it? Like a mace. It's almost a mace. The shape of a fist.
That's dope. Yeah, with the
I
little
just
blood on
it.
it.
Yeah, and he got a little thuggery to him. He's got his rolls, and then goes down to his braid. He's wearing the Nike Vandals, the Terminators, of course.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of what was like the Kuma's master or whatever. It was like, you know.
He looks. A lot of people compare him to Gen.
That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, it's a little there, but it's just it's how big those hands are. Like, get these hands.
Yeah, get hands. Yeah, I wanted his forearms to be bulging, so that's what you got. You got this little skinny, healthy guy that's really, really old, but from his forearms, you could tell that he'll whip your ass.
Definitely hot.
Yeah, but he's the traditional. Yeah, he could be drunken master, kind of sensei. In all the kung fu flicks, they all have the white long eyebrows and the beard, and so he looks like your typical master. There's just a little, braid with the punch, and then he's got the Vandals on.
Okay, cool. So let me let you go because I know it's getting late. You got family to go to, but thank you so much.
Hey, man.
Hours is amazing to talk to you. I want to do this again.
I appreciate it.
In a studio when this whole COVID's over, and get to show off maybe in a couple months. Get to show off the new thing.
Man. Let's do it. I'm down.
We'll try to do a bunch of other people, but imagine having a bunch of people and talking at the same time. And you and me, 2.5 hours is amazing. And thank you. It's like
listen, for real, I appreciate the time. Thank you for bringing me on. And you guys are buddies now, so whenever you want, I'm here for you. So
you got my phone number, so definitely. I was like I said, I was sending messages to Gorilla, and he's gonna be on another hour and a half. So check out. I think he's on Facebook. I think though
on Facebook, Facebook.
I think is it Benny? I think the girl's name is
Bunny Mischief. He's on Mischief over there. They're doing their thing. I've never been in the show because I just can't, like you said, now it's family time and
that's and then my stomach's gonna start rumbling in like another half an hour.
My shit is, bro. I'm about to eat a
Sorry about that, but
listen.
There you go. Oh my God, bless you for coming through and thank you for blessing us. I was like,
I hit you on the DM with my info and shoot you the hard drive and everything.
Beautiful, brother. I look forward to it.
Okay, thank you guys for watching.
Thank you, guys.
Peace.
Later. Oh, we were plugging the mic.